Boomhauer01 here. Welcome back to Giggity Racing League. I've got Puddin', I've got T Clay, and who's the other dude again?
E-Boss.
E-Boss. Welcome back to another night of fun-filled racing. We have got our All-Star Week. It is the captains versus the cup drivers versus the Xfinity drivers versus the truck drivers. We've got 4 teams. 5 top drivers in each series going head to head to head to head at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. 200 laps. It looks like it's going to be a blast tonight, fellas. What do y'all think?
T Clay, Boz, and Boom, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a chance for the lower ranked drivers to show what they've got with the upper ranked drivers, and everybody's going to take every inch they can get tonight. It's going to be competitive, and as always, the competitiveness of the Giggity Racing League and the cleanliness and camaraderie, especially with everybody. Guys, we're in for a barn burner tonight. Two-wheel drives to the four-wheel guys. They'll send the two-wheel guys off first since they're slower, and then they'll send the four-wheel drive guys after it to see if they can catch them down. And I feel like that's going to be an interesting race. You know what I'm saying? When there's going to be so much to see and so much to do, so many drivers to watch tonight, guys. A lot of racing going down.
Did y'all get those invites?
Yes, sir.
This is my first time watching it, so I'm excited to see what I'm going to see.
Oh, you're in for a treat along with everybody else tonight.
That's right here.
We've got some good drivers in all of our series, not to mention the captains themselves of each team. It's definitely going to be a blast. And here we go.
With no points on the line, Boom, Clay, Boz, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to see a little bit more aggressive racing, especially from the truck and Xfinity guys?
To lose, probably. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, as we already see one car in the wall. Looks like no caution. Now, remember, these truck guys and these Xfinity guys, they've been running, something a little bit less powerful than... they're spinning already. The 20 car. There's a lot of custom, so I apologize.
Everybody.
Pro 75.
We're used to being able to look at a number and somebody's sponsor and recognize them, but we're going to work it like this tonight. All the green cars that you see, those will be your cup guys. Your Xfinity guys will be in the red cars. The truck drivers will be in the blue, and the black cars you see will be your captains and administrators of each team. That's how they're breaking it down. So there is kind of a team basis going on tonight.
Except for D. Smith. D. Smith is in his 43 Bubba Wallace car.
That's awesome, because that's one of my favorite paint schemes. That's awesome.
It's not the Air Force paint scheme. I think that's the best one, though.
No, that's when I thought that's what I was thought you were talking about. Again, being biased because I was in the Air Force, but yeah, that is one of my favorite ones. But yeah, so here we go, guys. We're going back under green. Boz, Clay, Boom, what are you guys seeing here?
Well, like I said, like I was saying, I mean, these truck guys and Xfinity guys, they're more used to driving the trucks, and the Xfinity cars, they ain't used to the power and the handling of these cup cars. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of them has done a lot of practice over the last couple of days getting ready for this, but now the fact that they're actually running with the other cup guys, with the captains, we're going to have to see how they can handle it. The kind of pressure that they're going to be under.
2, 3, 4 wide. Cars cutting through the grass. Mowing the grass over here, guys.
Green car, who was that?
Sports Legend 89 up front, though. Sports Legend's holding his own.
Looks like Buck caught the grass. It's kind of hard to see him. Green car, green grass. We got Smitty coming up on the inside, looking to try to take second place. As
RJ Smitty's one of the fast guys in the Cup League. You know,
Yes,
he'll be a
is.
reckon tonight. He'll be a reckon to be forced with.
Here we go, Matty.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Larson's at the back a little bit. Looks like RKM's up here running. He's going to try to use that highest line to get around Sports Legend. But Sports throws a block. Oh, they stack up. Looks like they all saved it, though.
They got it.
Look at this, 2-3 wide. Now, this is something that we need to bring up, too,
no,
Oh, they're in
Boom.
the wall.
Oh, he saved it.
Boom,
Nice.
Boz, and Clay, we all know, going through turns
there we
3
go.
and 4, they got that
71 here.
aspect where it pulls you up. You got to be
Yes.
careful not to get sucked up into that middle of turns 3 and 4 there.
Yes.
You want to kind of dive it in high to low there. So we're going to see how that plays out, especially for 2 or 3 wide.
Well, see, you also got to be careful because
Oh, big wreck right
Oh,
there.
Turn around.
Yep.
Wreck,
Oh, I
wreck.
see him spinning. I see him
off the
spinning.
wall hard.
Looks like D. Smith was back there. K. Larson's back here. K. Taddy was
Doesn't it-
back here. I don't see a caution, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it doesn't appear that we've got a caution out there. Following Jackson Strong, a guy I've raced with quite a bit. I know you all have too. He's looking strong, and he's excited to be up here in a red car.
Oh, absolutely. I got to say that Kentucky Wildcats, man, he's been dominating the truck series this year, and it looks like he's up front leading this thing, so maybe he's got a little bit to prove, and by the Lord, he's doing it tonight.
We always try to pull a dark horse out, but it's too early to see that. But if you had to pull a dark horse out, it could be anybody tonight because of the event level that's all going on right now. Everybody wants that. They want that prize at the end of the night, saying that and bragging rights.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, see, looks like RKM got a little bit swirly coming out of turn 2 there. He was able to save it, though. But, I'm not sure if you can actually say there's any dark horses tonight. I mean, because as I was saying as we first started, this literally is the best drivers, you know, points-wise of each of our series, along with the captains who also have to run Cup. So, therefore, these guys are here for a reason tonight, so I'm not sure if any pick would necessarily be a dark horse. I mean, because any one of these guys has the talent and the potential to get up here and win this thing.
Following No Pit Pendle, looks like he bumped the wall. He went from 3rd to 4th, 5th, 6th almost, and that's unfortunate for him. No Pit Pendle is one of the fast guys up there, too.
Absolutely.
Wicked gatekeeper in this green car. He's always a force to be reckoned with on Wednesdays and Sundays also, Boom Clay.
Yes, he is. I'm following along with Woodruff right now, our Xfinity buddy. Run with him on Thursdays and Saturdays. Looks like he's running top 10 right now. See if he can get that car dialed in after the first pit stops and get those adjustments made.
Following on board with Mills right
so far.
Following on board with Mills right now, I had the opportunity to broadcast numerous GR races with Mills, but we also did an outlaw race with him last night. Mills is looking good tonight. He told me last night he was excited to be able to participate today, and he's running second, looking strong.
Oh, yeah. Mills is a heck of a driver. He drives for Canuck Motorsports with RKM. He drives the Deuce of Brad Keselowski on Sundays and Wednesdays. You know, he knows to take care of that car because, you know, the last 2 seasons, that was my car until I switched, you know, manufacturers. So he made me a deal he was going to take care of it, and looks like he's been doing pretty good this year so far.
Boz, being your first time up in the booth, I know it's still early, but what do you think about some of the racing that you see from the top levels of the Giggity Racing League?
So I've been
Red
watching
car.
Woodruff from the beginning, and he's had an adventurous race, man. He's gone through the grass, up, down, now, and I think he just got out of the top 10.
Yep,
but
that was
he's been up
Woodruff,
there.
yep.
He's been everywhere, and he still kept it up in the top 10, but we'll see how he goes. But it's been exciting to watch him go around.
Clay, what are your thoughts and opinions? I know that you're an Xfinity driver in Giggity Racing League with points and everything. You got in a little late. Who are you pulling for? Do you got any teammates out there you want to see do well?
Yeah, you know, Smitty's out there running along with, well, Blakey's not out there tonight, I don't believe. I was looking for him. I was hoping he was going to be out there, but I don't see him.
He's probably
yeah,
too busy
pull-
running Iowa.
Yeah, that's right. He's always running Yeah, pulling for Smitty. I'd like to see Smitty come out and win it and get another team win. I believe we got 8 or 9 right now this season, so it'd be good to go ahead and put double digits up on that wins for the team. So
It's cool to
Well,
see you
him-
race again the other night, Boomhauer. Where do you think you'd be out there right now? It was good to see you after your sabbatical and everything. Great to have you back in the booth, and as always,
Oh.
man, it's talk to you. But where do you think you'd shape up right now out here?
Seeing how I just got this wheel a couple days ago, I haven't got it dialed in perfectly yet. Still getting used to it, still getting used to the game. So I'd probably be running maybe 30th right now.
30th out of 13, right?
Yeah, if I had to guess, but I mean, honestly, even if I was racing tonight, I mean, I really wouldn't even worried about me getting a win or anything like that. Just to be able to go out there and race with these guys, you know, the best of the best in this series, it would be awesome. It would be fun, you know, chance to catch up with a lot of people. Just, you know, enjoy the night. I mean, that's why we do this, just to have fun, to get away from, you know, our day-to-day lives, to release stress, and that's what it's all about, just having fun.
Be out there with your friends. I know that's one of the most things I look forward to, seeing you, Boomhauer, E-Buzz, Roughneck, T-Clay. We all know Robbie Vids, some of those people out there, all the Giggity Racing, like when I see them online and they invite me over to talk to them, that's the high point, you know, just be able to talk some BS and have some fun and relax, and that's what video games are all about. And then these guys take video gaming to a better level.
I'm kind of wondering if Teddy's on a little bit different of a strategy here, or if he got mixed up in one of them little bump and run moves earlier, because he's just now crossing the start finish line as the leaders are heading to turn 3 right now. So I mean, I'm not sure if he's just playing it safe, keeping his tires, you know, good, or it looks like he's a little bit off the pace.
Another unfamiliar situation is seeing Chuckmate Taylor being further back in the pack. He's always one to be up in the top 3, 4, if not lead the race too. It's kind of an uncharacteristic situation for him to be back here.
Oh yeah,
following him around one of those green cars.
Yeah, UK Wildcats 2388 looks like he's got a pretty good car going on tonight, man.
He's cruising right now.
One of the cars 42. I noticed that is back there, if you'll notice, there's a gray car back there. It seems to be taking his time, but catching him. Like you said, Jake's coming through the field. We all know Jake's fast. Jake takes his time. Jake's smooth. Do you think Jake's got what it takes to get towards the front and stay up there towards the beginning of this race?
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, Jake is a tremendous driver. He's fast. He's smart. He knows how to, you know, set his car up for long runs, short runs, no matter the situation. So I got to say, the way that Wildcats is running up front right now, pretty much putting on a show. We see Trout up there running in the top 3. You got Jake sitting there running in 5th. I would not be surprised at the end of the race if those 3 are literally running side by side by side, trying to get their nose in front of somebody for that checkered flag.
There's a great battle going on with the green 42, the red 26, and the black and red. Can't really see his number there, but they've been going back and forth for the last 15 laps.
That would be Jackson Strong.
Got it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize Jackson was out there.
There's a great battle
that's
going
in there
on for the last 15 laps. They've been switching spots, going up, bumping, pushing. It's been a real nice race.
And that's one thing about this track. If you've got your car dialed in pretty good, and if somebody else does too, you can literally slide job each other for laps on end. One person might be better in turn 2. They can get that run coming out of the back stretch, going into turn 3, but you might be better coming out of turn 4, going down the front stretch, and get them going into turn 1. I mean, it just all depends, you know, on who it is, how their car's set up, how your car's set up. I mean, but you can definitely have a lot of fun battles at this track.
Yeah, right before this race, we ran.
Sorry, Trev.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say, right before this race, we ran probably 200 to 300 laps on Charlotte with probably about 5 to 10 of these guys. And looks like there was some pretty good competition to be set on the field for tonight's race. Wicked Gatekeeper, he was pretty fast tonight in the pre-races. Wouldn't be surprised to see him do some adjustments, get his car up towards the pack going into the start of the second stage.
I gotta say though, somebody's getting ran down now. It looks like Trout has caught UK Wildcats. Let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to ride behind him and play with him for a little bit, or is he going to make the move and get away? As we see, green flag pit stop's already underway.
Green and black car sure looks like he's going to be pushing on the outside. and the backside of that number blue 23 as they come into turn 2 right here.
Trout's going underneath right now.
All right, let's see here. Looks
Oh,
like
RKM and the 50 get into each other a little bit right there. Small rough bump and road from a red to a black car.
Trout might
Yeah,
have
right now UK Wildcats out front with the number.
nope. Trout is.
Trout
Yeah, Trout just passed him on
Yep.
underneath in that number 3 green and black Chevrolet.
I got a rare situation where I can't pull the computer up. I'm definitely watching Boomhauer's broadcast out there. Thanks to Dean Cook and Renegade Racer for paying attention and watching us out there. Dean Cook said, great job, broadcast team. And he also said, I put a little questionnaire out there for a fan vote. Who would their thoughts be? And Dean Cook said, anyone from Canuck will do. Pray
Well,
hands.
also that you gotta give credit to Team Canuck and all the Canadians up there. RKM, he's done a fantastic job with his team, but he also did say that he thought I would be number 1. So gotta give him a little shout out there. Even though I'm not with Team Canuck or anything, so that kind of goes against what you just said there, Dean. But I appreciate the vote anyway.
You said Warpig. Warpig's another great racer. I'll have the opportunity to race with Warpig tonight. Is what we fictionally called it the Giggity Racing League Farm League. Put together a little group together, about 13, 15 guys. In between it fluctuates. And a lot of these guys had made the advancements up to the Giggity Racing League. So everybody started calling it the Giggity Racing Farm League. So if Warpig was a product of that. T-Clay, I know you are. E-Boss, I know you were looking into it. Fat Patch, he's another guy looking to get up there. Matt Thiessen. So thanks for racing. I race with those guys all the time, and thanks for joining the Giggity Racing League. That's get a chance out here. If you're interested in joining, Boomhauer will be more than happy to get you in.
Oh, wreck on pit road.
Yeah, and more cars pitting. Wreck on pit road.
Looks like Wicked got hit somebody on Woodruff hit somebody on pit road too.
Let's hope that's just computer animated.
Yeah, I actually had that happen to me before. I got spun out the other day on pit road. I believe we were racing Chicago or Michigan Sunday, and sure enough, I got twisted, turned around sideways on pit road. I've never seen that happen before.
Here we go. Coming back up to speed.
But one person I gotta say that I'm kind of surprised he's at the back right now is that 62 green and black car of Buck Racing. I kind of figured he'd be up there at least fighting maybe top 5, 6, 7, if not higher than that right now. So it looks like he's having a little bit of struggles getting his car set up.
It's unfortunate for Buck. Buck normally drives the 62 South Point car. He's always a force to be reckoned with.
Yes,
T-Clay, what are you seeing from back there? Are you watching? Who are you looking at right now?
Right now, I'm watching number 78 of Jake in the gray car coming around turn 4 as he passes the Ferris wheel and got some cars on the inside going to pit here. Looks like the crowd's starting to break up here as we get the pack split going into towards the end of stage 1. We'll see what these guys can do as they get these cars set back up. I know there's a lot of adjustments that can be made. As we talked earlier, there was a lot of different guys running different setups for this race, Puddin'. We had some guys that started out running 3s and 4s all the way up to some running 8. The guys that ran the 8s and the guys that ran the 3 and 4s, man, they had a pretty fast conclusion that was not where you wanted to be tonight. After running the pre-races, it seems to be that these guys are going to be running anywhere from about a 5 to a 7 on their sliders, just depending on how loose they want their car and how good they want that car to set up for the long run. I believe everybody here on the field is honestly going to be fast tonight as we get deeper in these stages. It's going to be a good race, clean race, and looking forward to watching it with you, E-Balls and Boomhauer.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always, sorry to cut you off, Boom. It's always something, a strategy between Wednesdays and Sundays in the Giggity Racing League, and I'm glad that Clay brought that up. From a slider scale to a custom setup, your strategy definitely varies on how you set your cars up.
It looks like Jake has just possibly taken the lead from Trout as Trout's coming off pit road. He's going to fall in behind. It looks like Pendle and Wildcats and Jake running 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now. So this might get interesting.
Hey, Caddy, coming back on the track.
You got D. Smith, like you said, out there in his own colors and his own numbers and everything tonight. Do you think he just wants to say, team, truck and everything, but he just wants to vary himself and let everybody know that he's there.
Well, also, it was also, a last-minute change. One of our drivers for Team NOCO did not show, and seeing how D. Smith runs for Team NOCO, he kind of had to make a last-second decision and throw somebody, the next person in line in points in the race, and that just happened to be D. Smith. So I don't think he had a chance to get his car made because he wasn't expecting to run tonight. So I'm not sure if he just didn't make a custom setup or a custom paint job, or just didn't switch his car before and whatnot. But so he's running his team car that he does on Sundays and Wednesdays whenever he's a hot seat. So he's letting them know, hey, I'm running for NOCO right now.
Boy, UK Wildcat is really rubbing on. I think it's a 63, the red and white there. Really pushing around these last couple laps and pushing the pace.
Oh, yeah.
Will you give us a little insight on how we're doing tonight? Length of the race, percentage, stages, cautions, tire wear?
Okie dokie. This is a 50% race, and everybody knows the 600 is 400 laps, 600 miles. With it being 50%, which means it's 300 miles, which is 200 laps. You still have 4 stages, but they're only 50 laps apiece. Actually, I don't even think all of them are 50. I think the first one's 50, the second one's like 47, the third one's like 46, stuff like that to compensate for the the laps under caution and stuff like that. Tire wear is I believe at 2%. That's what we were practicing on earlier. As we see Trout getting hit bumper up to UK Wildcats. So here they are, all 4 battling for the lead. But
do we have any other perspectives tonight from any live broadcasts besides the Giggity Racing League?
I was trying. I don't believe RKM has his broadcast going tonight. I
don't believe Jake has his
going.
Oh,
it looks like Pendle caught the wall.
Oh, right around him. There he goes. From 4th to 2nd.
Yeah, back to the racing here, guys. We got a 5-car battle up here towards the front. We're not sure if all these cars are actually on the lead lap, but we've got Jake out front. That's right, with number 23 of UK Wildcats trailing him, along with the black and green number 3 car. Looks to be like he's trailing on the back side of that UK Wildcat. See if he can get around him as they come back on the straightaway.
Here he goes. Oh, he got loose.
Green car number 3 sideways. He straightens it back out on the back stretch. He's going to be a green flag. No caution at this time.
That was a nice save coming out of turn 2, because a lot of times, as you was talking about earlier, putting the way turn 4, the way it kind of flattens out from that steep bank, your car will get loose. Turn 2 will do the same thing if you're not too careful. Sometimes going into turns 2, no, not going into 2, but going into 1 and going into 3, she'll get a little bit loose. She'll tighten up right in the middle, and then all of a sudden try to braking as you're coming off of 2 and 4 again. So you've got to be ready to compensate for that. And it looks like Trout might have compensated just a little bit too much and got a little bit loose, but he was able to save it. He looks like he's still running 4th right there behind Pendle. He's still in his draft, so it shouldn't be no time, and he'll be right back up on that bumper again.
Yeah, guys, I'm actually surprised to see the gaps that have been created with these drivers. I honestly thought the race was going to be a little tighter group, but after pitting and after a pretty long run, it looks like these guys are really breaking apart.
Well, that's the glory of having green flag runs.
Yeah.
A lot of times, when you get a bunch of good drivers together like we've got tonight, but there's not a lot of cautions. Some people's cars, they're set up on short runs, so right off on, from the get-go, they can haul booty. Some drivers, they've got their stuff set up for longer runs, so it takes them a minute to get going. And on top of that, as we were saying with the, we've only had 1 caution tonight. We've already had green flag pit stops. Some people taking different strategies and whatnot. It can really separate the field. So we'll have to see after the stage ends and everybody get bunched back up together after they get their cars set the way they want them and see what happens. I think it's going to be good though.
There's a great 3-way battle going on between RJ Smitty, 54, and the 42. It's a great 3-way battle going right now. I don't know what position it is, but a lot of back and forth, in and out.
Okay, that would be Smitty, Wicked Gatekeeper, and it looks like that is Mills.
Little Robin going in the corner. There we go, spread.
Yeah, going through these corners side by side is not exactly easy.
Yeah, there you go.
as you all know, I'm one of those guys who likes to bring all the people out there who are watching our broadcast in. I like to do what I call a fan vote and everything. I just put out there, who's your all's favorite manufacturer? Let's see what everybody has to say to that, because you see different team members, but they at the same time have different manufacturers. And I've heard from numerous different people that different manufacturers drive different ways, whether it be on a super speedway, mile and a house, or anything like that. Let's see what your guys' thoughts are.
Hey, Puddin', real quick question for you. Along with you, Boomhauer or E-Boss, whoever wants to answer, well, I'll take our opinions and vote on it. Who do you think, let's look through the field in the next couple of minutes, who do you think created the best custom paint scheme for this race?
Ooh.
I like that.
Let me go back to the first question. I believe Ford runs the loosest. Chevy runs the most. I don't know. I prefer Chevy. I'm a Ford guy, but racing the game, I prefer Chevy. I think it rides more neutral. Toyota runs a little more, just a little different. So I prefer Chevy.
Yeah. I thought they all ran the same, honestly. I haven't really
That's what I thought too, but
done research on that and felt the difference between the Chevys and Ford and the Toyotas on here, but that's something I might do tonight. You know, get on there and play the same track over and over and see what happens.
Well,
Let's talk about these paint schemes here.
I'm going through the paint schemes right now. I gotta say, my favorites so far, I gotta say Wildcats. I love the blue and the white with the nationwide emblem on the front. I gotta say Smitty's black and red with the Exalta. I mean, he did a heck of a job putting that car together. Just the way everything goes together.
RJ's car.
And it looks like
Still
him.
right now.
It looks like UK and Sports Legends.
As he spins
on the front stretch. I was literally looking at his paint scheme as he spun.
They just missed it.
Who was it?
Sports Legends 89.
Sports
Legends. As Smitty catches him and he spins, that looks like it might bring out the caution.
There we go. Will it bring it out or not? Let's see.
I'm kind of biased. I like Buck's paint scheme, but I like that Pro 75 where he brought a couple different colors of blue to still represent his organization and team, and he put some orange and white in there, and I'm biased to orange and white too. But Buck and Pro.
And there is the caution.
We got some banging going on. We got
that is the caution. Looks like the 99 was still sitting sideways on the backstretch, and I'm not sure who it was. I'd have to rewind it, but they literally came through, T-boned him, and sent him flipping through the air.
This is the opportunity everybody was probably not wanting, but wanting at the same time. We don't very often see yellow flags in Giggity Racing League.
And that was the end of the stage as we got Jake taken home. Well, the caution came out, I believe, in the end of the stage.
I think that's the best car. Best car color.
UK Wildcats, A Trout, no Pit Pendle and Mills rounding out the top 5. You've got Wicked Gatekeeper running 6, Buck up to 7th after his sluggish start. Got Jackson Strong 8, Checkmate Taylor in 9th, and D Smith rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to go with Matty's car. I like that black and blue he's running.
I do like Matty's car. I also like Taddy's 63, that gray and black.
Yeah, Matty.
That gray, silver, and black. It looks pretty sparkly out there.
Go. Oh, one's weaving. We got a car on the outside weaving around.
Oh, yeah, the cautions breed cautions. So.
Yep, here we go.
Now, if we take a look back, everybody remember that each color car represents a team. So as you look at the field here, you can tell these drivers are really all mixed in as the red car bangs into the blue hard, going 4 wide, coming out of the turn here. Let's see what happens here, going back across the straightaway on the front. Now you'd Puddin'.
Now as you say that, as you look at, if you did the tendency of the colors, you see a lot more of the green cars. Those are the Cup guys. You see a lot more green up front than you do of the red and the blue, but black again. You see it mixed in there with the administrators and the captains at the same time.
And here comes Smitty back to the front, trying to work
it's cool to look at this race going on right now and just realize, these are the 5 top guys out of each league and the 5 captains for the league that are out there on the field right now.
A lot of dicing going on right now.
Yes, they are. Looks like them fresh stickers.
Crazy.
They are. Yeah, they are.
Oh,
they're pushing.
25
one
and
car
62.
up against the wall.
Wicked.
Oh, hits the wall again. No
42
caution.
Wicked, not 62. Oops.
This
Sorry,
is one of the
Wicked.
fun races that the Giggity Racing League does during the All-Star Race week. You know, this is one of the fun opportunities for everybody to get out there and blend in. You know,
43 and a 25, getting into it a little bit. 25 up against the wall, falls to the back of the pack.
I do gotta say,
those green cars really are bright out there tonight, aren't they, Puddin'?
yes, they are. Especially Buck's car, man. He went bright neon green with that color. But I gotta say, that black stripe down the middle of it, it makes it stand out. It looks pretty spiffy as well. He ain't got no decals or anything on it, but it still stands out. And he's letting everybody know, hey, I'm right here.
I tell you what, you said it right when you said Smitty did a good job with that black and red car, man. I tell you what, that thing pops out too, man. You see that thing coming with those bright red tires, it's like, man, that thing right there looks sharp.
And once again, we've got Jake, Trout, Pendle, and UK Wildcats up front, pulling away from everybody. It looks like this is... I don't think we've seen the end of this battle. I think we're going to see this for the rest of the night.
that's what we normally see in the Giggity Racing League. It's nothing but hard, close, competitive racing, Boom, as you well know. And same thing with T-Clay. You guys both participate in Boom 3. He races in the Cup races with these guys sometimes. Yeah, it's how hard is it? What do your nerves feel like when you get to be this close with somebody and you know you don't want to be that guy to get yelled at for accidentally making a mistake? What do you guys feel?
Your heart is pumping. I can promise you that. Your adrenaline is, I mean, it's almost making your heart beat out of your chest sometimes, especially when you're running tight, real close together. You're running 2 and 3 wide, especially if you're up at the front. You want to win. You want to lead as many laps as possible. You want to make a statement saying, hey, I belong in this league. I belong in this series at the top with the front runners. But at the same time, you're trying to, like you was talking about, trying to be careful not to mess anybody else's race up because you don't want to be that one person. But you've also got to stand your ground at the same time. So finding that line of when to go, when to back out, you know, to play it safe and take chances and be aggressive, sometimes it's the spur of the moment. Because sometimes if there's a hole that opens up, if it's late in the race, you don't know if you're going to get that chance again, so you got to go for it. But you've got to be smart about it at the same time.
Like you said too, Boom, after this week in the Giggity Racing League, there won't be any more advancements or anything. So,
Nope.
But these drivers they're out there with the captains and administrators. They want to get noticed. They want to prove themselves. You got to ride that fine red line like you were just talking about.
Especially with Wildcats. He's up here running at the front. He's a truck driver, and as you can see in that blue car, who knows? Maybe after this race tonight, he might not be in a blue car anymore. He might be in a red. He might even be in a green.
Well, the way he's racing, I would say that's about right.
To answer T-Clay's question online, Dean Cook said, Buck's car is awesome. We appreciate your feedback tonight, Dean Cook. You
Absolutely.
were definitely on it. Thank you for being here.
As Trout makes a move on Pendle. Looks like they nudged a little bit, made a little bit of contact. Pendle lost a little bit of speed. So did Trout as Jake starts pulling away a little bit, and that Wildcats comes up on the outside. He's going to take it too wide going there and going to try and make that pass on the outside.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, man. Watching Jake's impressive. He's just fast. I mean, that's all you can say.
He is.
Just fast, smooth, steady, and quick, man. It's impressive. I mean, I've been watching
those who didn't know, because it wasn't broadcasted, last night just for fun, we ran a full 100%, 109 laps at the Roval last night. And I guarantee you this man probably led 70 of those laps. I only made it to about lap 60 and I backed out. My arms were tired from holding this wheel.
I had to work last night, so I didn't get to participate in the race, but I sat there and watched about 80 laps of Jake's camera. He had it live on YouTube. So
yes, he did.
Got to enjoy that race. It was fun to watch.
As here comes Buck, Smitty, and Mills creeping their way up.
I'm just watching Mills right now. Yep, he's getting there.
Three names that are very familiar at the front of the pack: Boom, Boz, and Clay. Mills, Buck, Trout, Noco.
Does it surprise you to
see? Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying these are familiar names I see.
Yeah,
do you see some of these guys up front? Is it a surprise to see them up there showing some of these guys?
RJ Smitty going for it. Oh, a little bumping.
Absolutely not. I don't believe it is a surprise whatsoever. I mean, because those who follow, those who watch, race after race after race with us, those who participate, They know who the top drivers are. They know who the ones. Hey, if I want a chance at this, I'm gonna have to beat this driver. They know who they are, and literally all 6, 7, 8, top 10, they're up here running right now. As we see, Jake leading. We got Trout second, Pendle third, Wildcats fourth. We've got Smitty running fifth, as Buck trying to make a run on the inside of him. We got Mills in seventh. I mean, we've got, looks like Woodruff back there running, trying to make his way back into the top 10, running 11th currently. So I mean, like there's no underdog. Even though there's some team underdog drivers tonight, nobody tonight is necessarily an underdog. Everybody has the opportunity to win this. It's just who can last the longest, who can keep their car better together.
K-Taddy got bumped up against the wall. He's back. Going underneath 25. Blue 25. There we go. We watch this race for K-Taddy.
Here's Larson up there with him, captain of the Bro Squad. Oh, him and 25 get together.
Yeah, they are. They've been doing this for the last 2 or 3 laps.
Jackson Strong's looking really strong. I know that's kind of ironic, but he's pushing that green 42 of the Cup card right there, saying, hey, I'm right here. I'm competitive. Jackson Strong's always a strong competitor. He'll race you clean, and he'll let you know he's there at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily surprised of the people that's up at the front. I'm more surprised and shocked of the people who's not at the front right now. Taddy, especially being one of them. RKM, Larson, all of them great drivers. They know how to set up a car and how to run. They can make adjustments on pit road, as needed. And to see them, back here in the back half of the pack, it kind of wonders, maybe they go the wrong way on that last pit stop.
And that's the thing about stages, though. That's the glorious thing. If you made a mistake, you can rebound from it. If you get into an accident, you can make get yourself fixed, make an adjustment. If you didn't like what you did, you can go and rebound from that and go the opposite way. That's a good thing about stage racing. But these stages are long. We will see green flag pit stops. I don't see a lot of adjustments being made to keep those times down, but that's what the stages are for there, Boom Boss.
It looks like we got Pro 75 up here running. He's trying to make his way up.
I like Pro's.
Oh, the 88's down below at the apron. He's coming back up. I don't know what happened. I just got it now. Now he's getting under control. I think he might come in for a pit. He seems to be down on speed.
Yeah, it was Buck and Pro. I like both of their paint schemes, and at the same time, they're both fast. We're following No Pit Pendle, and he's got a 1, 2, 3, 4 car battle. There's a 5-car battle going on as I'm doing the chase cam right now with No Pit Pendle. Let's see how all this pans out, because here they go. They're coming to that turn. Watch that bump.
Running second, third, fourth, and fifth, literally within, under a piece of paper. Oh! Kentucky hits the wall. Looks like it slowed him down a little bit. He looks like he should be able to keep Smitty's draft, though, so he shouldn't drop back too far. And even if he does, he's got the car to get back up to the front again, obviously.
Boom, Boss, what would you guys do? Would you try to fight for a position, or would you guys go single file knowing you had a little bit more time to try to catch that leader? What would you guys do, Boss?
I'm Mr. Consistent. I just keep it right in the middle and go and see if I can beat you on tire wear and fuel. I just and say, hey, if the people can crash themselves up, do it, go with it. If I have a chance at the beginning, but I'm Mr. Consistent, and I stay right there and I just go with it.
In the Giggity Racing League, it's not often that somebody crashes themselves out. Boom, what are your thoughts? What would you do?
As Pendle catches the wall.
Yeah, Pendle catches the wall, and 3, 4 cars go by him.
Honestly, you wanna stay consistent, as we looks like. I thought Smitty was about to pit, but and you want to stay consistently, running up front, as much as you can, with everybody. But also, as E-Boss was talking, saving tires and all that stuff. It's a fine line. You want to be aggressive, but you got to save your equipment at the same time. The pit strategy and all that stuff, because it's very, very key. Because yes, you can pit before them, get fresh stickers, make up some of that time, but then again, whenever you pit, if they don't, They might have worse tires to start off with, but at the end of that fuel run, at the end of that tire run, they're going to be better than you. So it's all about, you know, making the right moves at the right spot. So I mean, honestly, right now with it only being in the second stage, I'd have to say just stay in line, try to stay in each other's draft. Even though it's not much of a heavy draft track, draft still can come into effect here. So
Glad you brought that up.
as it looks like we got green flag pit stops going on. Seen a couple cars
UK
on
Wild
pit road.
has a put a
Oh,
push though.
Jackson and
Oh.
Mills get into each other, and the 20 or the 42 splits him. He split right down the middle. He split him like a banana right there, going down. the
RKM
42.
going down pit road.
Yeah.
So is K-Taddy.
Jackson makes a strong on Mills, pass on Mills as Mills was fighting him off there. They touch each other in the 42. So Jackson Strong's in the middle of a green car sandwich, being in that Xfinity car right now. He's got the patience. He's got
Sports
the know-how to
Legend
hold on.
and Sean T is on pit road as well. They're coming back off. They just want a lap down. Looks like
Now,
Napa
for people who
fan.
don't know,
Go ahead.
now for people who don't know, like me, do these guys have little team communications? Are they teams in certain, on private mics? Or are they all open?
On normally on a week-to-week basis, you're in your own team chat. Like the underdogs will be in a chat together.
Okay.
Smitty's team will be, RJ Motorsports will be in a team together. NoCo Racing will be in a team together. Canucks, they'll be in a chat together. But tonight, if I've got it, if I understood correctly, whenever they were going over everything, I believe the captains are in one chat because they're on a team together. The Cup guys are in one chat, the Xfinity guys are in one chat, and the truck guys are in one chat. I might be wrong on that, so I wouldn't quote me, but I believe that was the understanding I got from it.
Okay, so do you think they're going to go? Do you think they have team strategy here, or is it just every man for himself?
I'm pretty sure they're sharing information. Hey, this might work. Try this. If your car's doing this, change this. Stuff like that. But as, like Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota did at Daytona and Talladega, I wouldn't go that far as into teamwork.
Okay.
Now,
So
if
they're
you
just
can
out there
help,
making sure-
if you can help, make each other's cars better, I'm pretty sure they're doing that because, previous experiences being in these chats. But, right
If
now.
they're close to each other, you're definitely helping each other, and if not, they're giving each other, hey, this person's there, this person's here. That would be.
Oh yeah,
nice.
absolutely. I'm pretty sure, like say, what was I about to say? I done lost my train of thought. I apologize. Watching Jake here. See, he makes you lose focus because you're just so astounded by what he can do as he makes his way down
Not just
pit
the
road.
Prius car, but the front car too.
Yep, but
He was a hot seat driver in the Cup racer earlier season when I broadcast.
yes, he
Jake
was.
made a name
Sunday.
for himself. Yep, he made
Run
a
it.
name.
Jake both on pit road.
All right. Woodruff is also on pit road.
E-Bob's got a quick question for you as you just started in this broadcast with us. After watching the first couple laps of the second stage, about halfway through here, you've already watched one complete stage. Who do you think is strong enough to win this race besides Mr. Jake in the X24 car?
Well, I've been watching him a lot is UK Wildcat because he seems to be able to pass cars when he wants to. He even coming off mistakes, hitting walls with other cars and stuff like that. He still seems to be able to power past 2-3 cars at a time. So I think it's going to be a shootout between those two at the end. Unless we have some guy who makes a real big car change, it really seems like they have the cream of the crop from what I've seen.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that, man. I'm still kind of surprised to see some of these cars in the back of the field as far as they are, but I think after we get to stage 2 here and we get halfway through the race, I think we're going to see a lot tighter knit group going into stage 3 here.
Honestly, if I'm going to pick somebody that's not Jake, Wildcats, Trout, Pendle, the ones that's been running up front, par se most of the race. If I'm going to pick somebody, I got to say that number 62 green and black Camaro of Buck Racing. He looks like he's been getting his car a little bit better. He looks like he's been catching the pack more and more each lap, getting that thing dialed in. After stage 3, whenever we get into the last 50 laps of this race, I would definitely say watch out for him.
So from you guys' experience watching these guys, is there anyone that kind of sits back, waits for things to happen, and then charges at the last stage?
Taddy.
Yep.
Come back?
Number 63, K. Taddy, talked
Yes.
about it earlier. He said,
Okay.
hey, he said, who He said Puddin called me the dark horse last race. He said I was running 10th, 13th place most of the race. He said I had a good car. He said I knew I had a good car. He said, but I didn't want to put it in there because I didn't want to take the chance of getting a caution or hurting his car or making damage to that number 63 car. So what he did is literally set back for 2 stages, got his adjustments right, and in the 3rd stage, with 3 laps to go, passes 10 cars and takes 2nd place.
Yep, he did that at Pocono Sunday. So absolutely, Teddy, especially with this being a non-points race, the 1st stage, the 2nd stage, and the 3rd stage, you literally have nothing to gain but positions. I mean,
so you don't want to come out here with enemies?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, exactly. You don't want to make enemies in the first 3 stages. Hey, you bumped me out of the way. Hey, it's the last lap. I'm gonna bump you out the way now. Watch this, ha ha, or anything like it. So I mean, you definitely want to try to save your car as well. So I would definitely say, yeah, Taddy's probably holding back a little bit. He's not unleashed the beast per se yet.
Taddy's one of those he's like you guys have already said it. He can maintain and conserve his car, and at the last second, he's like, "Now you see me, now you don't." He's right in front of you.
Checkmate Taylor's one of those as well. You know, he can get up and run at the front if he wants to, but a lot of times he'll lag back a little bit. Hey, y'all duke it out, and I'll be here at the end.
So I want to get driving lessons from K Taddy. All right, I'll write that down.
Oh yes. Honestly, you can get driving lessons from anybody in this league, and it will benefit you. I can promise you that. But yeah, I think my vote for best paint scheme, it's got to be the 24 of that Exalta Chevrolet of RJ Smitty. I mean, that thing is just gorgeous. I can't stop looking at it. Especially the overhead view. I mean, it's beautiful. Excellent job, Smitty, putting that car together.
Ooh, checkmate's on. I believe K-Tad's bumping right now. Here we go.
That number 43 car, is that a custom paint scheme or is that an actual paint scheme?
No, that is Bubba Wallace's car. It is not a custom paint scheme.
Well, here we go.
Let's find Checkmate and Taddy.
K-Taddy going
yep, here they are.
Is that through 1 and 2?
Yep, coming through
Taddy's gonna pull out with it.
Oh, looks like Checkmate got Taddy got a little bit loose, looks like.
Yep, down below. He keeps it though.
And if anybody knows Taddy, he likes a loose car. He's tried to give me some of his setups before on Heat 3 whenever we were on the same team, and I could not drive them to save my life. You would literally be backwards, have a chance to go down backwards faster than I would straight.
Yeah, so, I talk about running tight and loose, man. I tried to run a little bit tighter today while we were practicing Charlotte. I tell you what, I went from running a 4 back to a 7. I put that 7 in, I felt more back at home, man. That 4, I just couldn't use how tight it was.
I run a 5 or a 6. I'll go 7 or something like that for qualifying, especially on a low fuel run with the tires pumped up, when they're very, very fresh. I'm talking 99, 98%. Just to get that lap time to start at the front. But for the actual race itself, I'd say a 5 or a 6. That's just my personal preference. Everybody drives different. Some people can handle loose cars. Some people handle tighter cars better. And that's another thing that makes this, a little bit, difficult. Makes it a little bit more, challenging, because you've got 20 people out here, and not everybody's running a 1 or a 9. Everybody's running something different. Not everybody's tire pressure is the same. The wedge, tape, all that stuff. Everything is different. There is, nothing is straight across the board. As you see,
that's like a lot of things. You see a lot of guys, they'll be like, hey, man, what's a good setup for this or setup for that? And then, for example, earlier we've been running the challenge all day on Heat 4 for the truck series, which is the Canadian Tire.
Ooh,
and
good one.
Me and Puddin both built custom setups for our trucks. And we both raced them, and our times were literally, very, very, very similar. 19 and some change on both of our times. But so we did the share and play on PS4. And I'm telling you what, his car was tight and wouldn't turn. Mine was loose and he was spinning out. But, when you're comfortable with that setting, that's what makes the car. So just because your buddy or somebody may have a setup that works for them doesn't mean that you're going to take that setup and be fast with it. You may take that setup and not be able to hardly hold on to it, or you may even be better with it. But just because one person has a setup that works doesn't mean it's always going to work for your driving style. That's why it's important to figure out your driving style, drive that style, and do it consistent.
I gotta say, speaking of, all this difference in cars and trucks and everything, has anybody noticed that black and green number 3 car sneaking back up on that 78 right now?
I have. That's what I've been watching the last couple laps.
Yeah, here comes a Trout back into the picture.
There he is.
They are on a little bit different of pit strategies here, so each one of them pitted at different times. If I'm not mistaken, I think Trout might have pitted before Jake, but it looks like he's catching him, which is odd seeing how Jake would be on fresher tires.
Now, could he be playing possum?
He could be. Jake will do that. He did that last night with Noco at the Roval a lot.
Yeah, he could.
He literally rode behind Noco without putting him a lap down, just literally rode behind him for 10, 15 laps as we see. Is that Matty? Looks like, oh, Matty slides up in front of Jake. No.
Oh.
They kept it straight. But I'm pretty sure Jake is not a happy camper right now. As they both get around Matty. Because
He just
also
keeps powering right to the front, though. He keeps it up front.
he does. It looked like it looked like Trout also got the bumper of Jake as Jake was catching the bumper of Matty, so it kind of slowed both of them down, so neither one of them gained or lost anything off of it.
Yeah, I give Jake credit, man. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know either, man. I mean, it's just skill, talent, practice. I mean, some people are born with it. Some people like me ain't. I mean,
I hear you, buddy. That's why.
It's the reason I'm broadcasting this right now. As we see Trout making that move.
Don't make people mad. Go with it. Nope.
All right, let's see if Trout's going to get that run coming out of turn 2, going down the backstretch. As he does, he's sneaking closer and closer. He's looking inside. Jake hold him off.
Everybody watching
they
the broadcast.
touch.
This turn number 3 and 4, it's not as easy as these drivers make it look on the broadcast. It's really slippery. There's not a good way to enter it unless you're up high. You enter on the bottom of the guy on top of you. It makes it real easy to slide up into him and wreck both of you. So
that's a good point right now. If you watch the 71, the red car and the blue, I believe 20, they've been doing the same thing, sliding up, bumping, keeping it going. No one's hitting the wall. They're going racing hard. But it's lap after lap, so if you want to watch and see what it is.
Yeah, that would be Woodruff and Pro 75.
There we go. Yeah, they've been doing it for the last 4 laps, bumping, but not wrecking. Just tipping, tapping.
Looks like right now Jake may be sticking to the back of Trout's bumper, just to try to save a little bit of tires here and there, run a different line. He's been on the same line the whole race, so we'll see if Trout can sneak away from Jake right here, or if Jake actually has what it takes to catch back up and get back in front of him. With probably just a few laps to go here in the end of this second stage.
Well, I got to say, we got Kentucky Wildcats running in 5th. We've got Buck running in 4th behind Pendle in 3rd, and all 3 of them are creeping closer and closer to Trout and Jake up there. So it looks like we're going to have one heck of a finish coming up for the halfway point of this race. Unless that was it. That was the end of the stage right there. As it looks like Trout took it home.
So for the last couple laps, have you seen any cars come on better and the other cars drop? Because the last one, each one gets longer, right? Each stage?
No, each stage don't get longer. Actually, I believe because of the caution laps, each stage gets shorter.
Shorter? Oh, okay. It's the other way. Okay.
I believe stage 1 is the full 50 laps. Stage 2, if I'm not mistaken, is 47. I think stage 3 is 46 or 47 as well, and I think stage 4 is like 45 or 46, if I'm not mistaken. But I am going to grab me something to drink right quick, and y'all take it away.
Yeah, curious to see right now if Jake's going to come out in the first position after everybody goes to pit lane right here. E-balls. I'd like to see Jake get out front and stay out front, but looks like Trout might have a little better car for the long run. That may come down to play here as we have 2 stages left here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Here we go. We're gonna
All
find
right.
out now.
Perfect timing.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can get off to a clean restart and keep.
Oh yes. Like I said, cautions breed cautions. Everybody's all bunched back up together. It's tight racing, so. But
Yeah, right now I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
at RJ Smitty. Looks like he's running back in 5th place. See if he can stick to the group here and stay up with the
Watch
leaders
that
this
middle
time.
of the pack there. Watch that middle of the pack getting a little squirrely. There
Yes,
we
they
go.
are.
Well,
Smitty makes a
43.
run on the inside of
43
Buck.
just came tap. There we go.
Oh, looks like Wicked Gatekeeper's back up there in the mix as well. Oh, is
Ooh,
Buck
RKM.
and Trout make contact?
Back in the pack's making a lot of contact. The
Oh, yeah.
88's around.
One of them
Sergeant
spinning.
Legend. Sports legend, my bad.
Yeah, number 50 and 63 right now
Oh,
getting into it. We got
to the
4
grass.
cars wide,
Two going to
2
the
to the grass. We got a car around.
There we go.
Looks
Oh,
like,
yes. Oh, one of
Caddy's
them's
been
flipping.
spinning
One of
around.
them's flipping.
Hey, Caddy's around. Wow.
See if that brings out the caution here at Charlotte Motor Speedway at the Coca-Cola 300.
And it does not.
It's not. That's going to be a big issue for some of these guys that got spun around right there. Going
Yes,
into
it is.
the next to last stage here. That's the good thing about racing at the Coca-Cola 600 is there is 4 stages since the long mileage of this race, which that may come into a play and give some of these guys that did just get spun around, that may be their big break to save their race. What do you think, Boomhauer?
Honestly, I mean, with it being 4 stages, you know, you've got multiple opportunities to bounce back from any kind of mistakes. You know, any wrecks that you get caught up in the front, or you know, you make wrong pit road adjustments. You know, just like Martin Truex Jr. Sunday putting, you know, his crew putting the wrong tires on the wrong side of the car. You know, you've got
Even the best
you
of
know,
the best make mistakes.
Yep,
That's a good thing.
everybody does, and that's like he was talking about. That's the good thing about running the 600, because it don't matter if it's, you could do it on 25%. You're still going to have 4 stages regardless. Don't matter if it's 25% or 100%. You're going to have multiple breaks, multiple opportunities to correct those mistakes. So the guys in the back of the packet just got took out in all that wrecks. Just now, without the caution, they still have, at least we know of, 1 more stoppage in racing to get caught back up, to get all that out of the way.
Up against the wall.
Oh,
Here we
I've
go.
seen
There's
that.
a lot of good 3, 4, 5 car battles going on here through the pack. 2, 3 is a lot of cluster dip going through, passing. A lot of good racing going on right now.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier that, as you see on the screen now, there's a lot of different packs. You see 3 cars, 2 cars, another 3 car, another 3 car. All these little groups of packs, and the reason you see these packs is when these cars get to racing side by side, it makes it hard for them to keep up with the single cars in between the 2 different packs, which creates the gap here. That's why you see, you know, 3 cars here, 2 cars here, 3 cars here. You see these little groups running together because once they get side by side, it's hard for them to keep up with that group in front of them.
Yes, it
Big
is.
thing to remember is that each of these color cars mean a different thing. Blue truck, the red thing. So these guys are keeping up with some of the best of the best.
Yeah, if you look at it right now, we got 3 green cars together. We got 2 blue cars with 1 red car stuck in the middle of them, and then we have the black and red team. Looks like they're all grouped together right now. Like they're
I'm not
running about 8
mistaken,
deep.
That's 4 green
Yeah,
cars.
it is 4 green cars.
The only green car not up there is Trout right now. So we got Checkmate Taylor, we've got Wicked, we've got Buck, and we've got Mills. Not in that order, but running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. So a big showing from the Cup guys tonight. Yeah, we'll have to excuse what you're about to hear, and I hope this is PG-21, but
That's right.
That's the sound of refreshment right there.
yeah, like I said, PG-21, but yeah,
Didn't go,
no, it's not Bush. It's not sponsored by Kevin Harvick, I promise you.
yeah. Let's see if we can get that
Telling
going.
you right
gotta-
now, back here where this Pro 75 is, we got a heck of a battle going on. It looks about 6, 7 cars deep. Back
Yes.
here with the blue, 2 blues and the reds.
That looks like it is D. Smith. It looks like Pro. It looks like Smitty. Looks like Pendle is back here. Woodruff is back here.
And
And Jackson Strong. Yep, all of them back
He's
here
coming.
running together. As you'll
Got a
notice,
Very good group fighting.
as you was talking, most of the blue cars are running together. Most of the green cars are running together. You've got the red cars running together. The only difference is, I think, is the black cars of the admins and the captains. They're kind of spread out a little bit more than the rest of them. You know, with the exception of Smitty running up here in the top half of the
Jackson Strong
pack.
coming up.
Oh!
Up against the
Looks like-
wall. Oh! Trout
Oh,
just
called
ran into
RKM.
Jackson.
That's
Boy, I tell you,
RKM in the
look at this.
wall.
Oh, and they still keep it. No caution. Look at that. What driving?
And here
Yeah,
comes
it's almost
Larson
like
up here.
it's almost like Jake said, I'm gonna make my own color.
Yeah.
Since I'll
They're
be
trying
leading
to
the
make
whole
a name
race,
for
I'll
themselves.
just run color gray.
That's what you call
You know
trying to
why?
make a name for yourself.
Because that's the only thing they're going to see, because gray is a blur, and that's all you see when he drives past you is a blur.
That's right.
It's like, what was that? Oh, never mind, that was Jake.
Oh, that's Jake. Don't worry about him.
Wilton just bumped him.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Woodruff,
assuming he was
Kendall,
supposed to be
Smitty.
running the.
Here comes
the red
Trout.
car
Oh, we got a
for
car
Nicholson.
sideways on the front stretch. Who
Ooh,
is
the
that?
20.
Let me get back to
20
him.
Pro 75 to 20 car.
Yep. Oh, you hate to see it, man. He was doing
Boy, I
good.
tell you, no caution. That's really look at that. He was having a good race.
So I don't believe they have the strict cautions on tonight. I believe they, you know, of any of those who's watching and following us that has the game, you know, that update came out earlier this week with strict cautions for online racing. You pop the wall. You
Dude,
get
I'm not
sideways.
sure if they have any cautions on besides
That's
the
another thing.
stages.
So that's another question for a lot of people out there. But everybody wanted it. Now that it's there, a lot of people don't like it. So
Yeah, because if
feelings
you
on
hit
it.
the
Do you
wall
like it?
hard
You don't
enough
like it? How do you like it?
and come back into the racing surface in the racing lanes, it will throw the caution out. It don't matter if you're by yourself or not.
By yourself,
We
right?
tested it out. Taddy actually drove off the track at Canadian Tire. The first left-hander literally jumped the curb, went all the way off the track, hit that far outside wall by himself, and it still threw the caution. So I believe these guys knew there was going to be a little bit of a wreck, you know, with the different series all running together. So I think they decided not to put the strict cautions on, which all the wall hits that we've seen tonight, I think that was probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it seems like they don't even have cautions on, but
Oh,
I'm
there
sure
it
they
is.
do. So-
I believe we've
Ooh, here we
had.
go. Woodruff and Trout bumping, going past. Trout's taking
Oh,
it.
and Woodruff
I'll tell you
hits him.
what, Oh, Trout's got
Oh, look at Smitty splitting him.
Smitty. Ooh, wow, that was some driving.
Oh,
I'll
yes,
tell you
that
what,
was a
I don't know
move.
who's been watching it, but Woodruff has had one heck of an interesting night. He's going to be tired at the end of this night. He has been.
Oh.
Oh, hit the wall
yeah,
again.
one car
He's
through the
been
grass in the
tired.
Yep.
middle of the front stretch, come back on the track now. Looks like he
Looks at
sideswiped the
Jackson
car, but
Strong.
they're gonna keep it straight.
Is that
Here
no?
we go.
Is that Jackson up there?
That's Jackson Strong right behind him. Yep.
No, not behind him. In front of him. Who was that? Looks like it was Pendle, maybe. Yes, that was Pendle.
Pendle. Yes, it was.
That's odd seeing Pendle in the grass. Oh, as he gets up, catches the wall in front of D. Smith. And Smitty, as he gets a little bit loose again, but he saves it.
Yeah, it looks like Boomhauer. Looks like some of these guys have got their car set up loose enough where they're starting to get that little slide out we were experiencing earlier, coming out of that turn 4 right before the little straightaway on the front stretch.
There is no more of a silver blur up front because now we have silver and green blur up front as Wicked, Gatekeeper, and Buck Racing has caught Jake. I told y'all watch out for that 62 car earlier.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder
looks like Wicked may be able to catch the draft right here. If not, he may lose these two guys.
I don't know. As long as they stay racing together, running side by side, battling each other, I'm not sure if Buck's going to stay behind him and just follow suit with Jake. If he does that, it might make it a little bit harder for Wicked to catch up to him and get on the bumpers. But if they start getting side by side going through the corners, Wicked will be able to catch him in a hurry.
You know, I'm sitting here watching Buck RCN right now, and
It don't
Keeps
look like
bumping?
he's trying to move him or anything.
No,
He's
it
not
does.
making a... Looks like he's just happy sitting second right now. He's trying to stay behind him. Because we just seen Jake cut low on the backstretch and Buck followed him down and followed him right back up. He's following him through the corners. Maybe he's trying to steal his line. Maybe he's trying to, you know, hey, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Watching very closely, you know, learning from him. Trying to use something against him later in the race.
Make him push him a little harder to make him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Make him nervous. Make him, get that
I don't know,
adrenaline
Jake, I
going.
don't know if he gets nervous, but you never know.
I don't think he does.
I don't think so either, but
Watch how tight Jake runs that wall going in that turn 3.
Yeah, and look at he follows that line straight down that line. He comes up. Look how he comes up. There we go.
I'm gonna follow the bumper cam of this 62. I want to see what it looks like to be on Jake's bumper because I've never seen it before. The only bumper of Jake I've ever seen is his front bumper in my rearview mirror.
I think they're pulling away from third place a little.
I believe they are because they're not battling. They're drafting with each other. They're running the same line, so it's making it hard for Wicked to maintain his position up there. As it looks like they're about to come up on lap traffic.
Right now, but as we know, I mean, I've driven on this track earlier, Boomhauer. You drove on it earlier. Right now, could easily stick his nose in there and push the issue, but like you said, it looks like he's just riding right behind him. He's like, hey, look, if I want to get second right here, I might get first. Better off to have second.
Oh, he catches the wall.
He touches the wall. See, that's it. Jake
Man, he hit the wall hard.
Jake can still run that bottom line.
I'll tell you what, as hard as he hit that wall right there, that wheel put some damage on that car. That probably will slow that car down a little bit.
As we see pit stops being made.
Up and look, third place is coming up. I think he's catching.
But it don't look like Buck lost too much time off of Jake. It looks like he's still within a half a second of him. Maybe a full second, somewhere in that neighborhood. Plus with them coming up on lap traffic, that should be able to help Buck catch right back up to him again.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool to watch that hood view of Buck's car as you see Jake almost touching that wall coming in turn 3.
As Wicked Gatekeeper is pitting.
Buck keeps slamming this wall. It must be getting loose. Might have some damage on that right rear.
Looks like no pit Pendle and Trout both are pitting as well.
Yeah. So let's expect Buck to probably come in here pretty soon.
Jackson's on pit road.
Here's the thing about Buck, though. I mean, you got 2 options you can do. If this was the last stage, you definitely wouldn't want to pit until the leader pitted, just because at Charlotte, if the guy in front of you's got better tires, it's really frustrating for
yes, it's hard to catch
the guy
back
behind
up.
him to catch up.
Absolutely.
So how much do you think they're losing a lap from fresh tires to these old tires?
Well,
probably about 0.3 of a second per lap.
It depends on whose car you're talking about.
Fast car.
So we're gonna go with first and second. Let's just say.
All right. Well, honestly, first and second, they obviously both have fast cars. So I mean, fresh tires, I would definitely have to say they. I'm talking as soon as coming off pit road, getting 1 lap on them. Hitting your lines perfect. They're probably running, I'd say anywhere between 29.4 to 29.6s. Honestly, halfway through a fuel run, 10, 15 laps on the tires, I'd probably say they're maybe running 30.7, 30.8 if it's bad. At the end of a run, maybe 31 flat, depending on who you are. Who knows? Jake's probably running 29 flat on old tires. There ain't no telling right now.
Fast times. These
but
are fast times.
Yeah, the lead traffic or lap traffic right here is really giving Jake a handful.
And here comes Buck. He's right back up on his bumper.
Yeah, this car right here really needs to just go ahead and get out of the way with the leaders coming on him, but it looks like he's going to be fighting to stay on that lead lap. Not giving Jake anywhere to go.
So this is another debate.
Sports legend.
Another debate that we have in our little get-togethers.
Yep.
Some people say you race the race. Some people say, hey, you let the leaders go by. Some people say, hey, I don't want to go a lap down.
Let me tell you this. The right thing to do is let those leaders go by.
Okay. Honestly, me personally, it depends on the situation. If it's early in the stage, like if something happens, I get wrecked, and 5 laps later, he's catching me, yeah, I'm going to let him go. But now, if we're 5 laps to go in the stage,
yep.
As Jake spins getting on pit road.
Oh, Jake's round. Oh, wow. Well, that just took care of that.
And that right there is why you don't mess with the leaders.
No, that wasn't sports legend. Jake did that on his own.
That looked like arrow. Yeah, he just came.
Just old tires getting on pit road. Looks like he locked it up just a little bit too much, and it spun sideways on him.
He got lucky doing it right in front of pit lane.
Yes, he did.
Boy,
the good thing about it is this is not the last stage, so as long as he can finish within the top 4, you're still going to be up front. Even as well as I do, the
And
guy
he
in
just
first
took
and
the
third
71
really
car
have
out.
the
Look,
advantage anyways.
Another accident, another animated accident on line between 71 and Jake. I hope that don't cost time there. But
Because right
On
now
pit
we see
road.
Caddy the 63
Yeah.
and blue 25 car pitting as well.
Napa fan.
Let's go
UK
watch
Wildcats is on
Jake
pit
here
road
and
as
see what
well.
happens to him coming down the pits.
Oh, y'all want to see
Hopefully
how
he
much
did-
time he lost?
He's coming out right now.
As here comes everybody else. But I don't think everybody's made their pit stops yet either, so.
there has been a lot of green pit stops, so.
There has been.
Yeah, there has. Yeah, pretty cleanly too.
But as you was asking, about the whole preference, what would you do in the situation, let him go or not? Like I said, if it's early in the stage, yeah, I'm going to let him go. If it's 5 laps to go in the stage, I'm literally the last one on the lead lap. Or I'm the, or if somebody in front of me is on the lead lap and I'm the lap down and I'm still in front of the leader or whatnot. Oh, wreck.
As I'm watching
we
Jack
see,
Strong, I don't know what
was
happened.
that Trout?
There's a roll. Wow, that was a huge flip, man. He was 10, 15 feet in the air.
Is that bring out the
Still
caution?
no caution.
No,
I
it
don't.
don't.
Think there's no caution either. Boy,
Oh,
they're
there
just
is cautions.
racing.
We've seen cautions
Yeah,
came
wow.
out, so.
Boy, it's just racing. Bring what
Ouch.
you got.
Man, I'll tell you what. This group of guys we got going in turn
What?
2 right here. It looks like we just restarted the stage, but
Yeah, because
close racing we got
that
going
cost them a lot because Buck is got to lead and he is literally about ready to cross the start-finish line now, and they're just now hitting, turn 3? So they definitely lost a lot of time, especially with that spin going down pit road. But as
Good
you're
thing
saying,
stages.
one more stage.
Stages.
It's not
Yeah,
over.
these stages, it's not bad. They're going to lose it, but they'll be bunched up together. Strong cars, so she'll be able to pull up.
And honestly, a lot of people don't like to admit it, but going back to the whole leader lap down and all that situation, I think it depends on who you are and who the leader is. If you're friends with the leader, or if you
Yeah.
and the leader have had issues in the past, a history going back, y'all really don't like each other, stuff like that. People don't realize it, but that has a lot to do with it as well. It's like, you ain't getting by me. Nope, I'm gonna make you work for this. I ain't doing, Or if the teammate is in front of you, you're trying to help them out. Nope, I got him. I'll slow him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Or if he's your friend, if he's on your team, hey man, go outside now and let him go. I mean, it all depends. There's a lot of different variation to it. I mean, you can't really just say, hey, do this at this point, this time, this situation, because there's more variables that play into it.
A lot of pride too. A lot of people. These people take it real serious. It's a video
Oh,
game.
yes.
They
Oh,
take
yes.
it real serious. I mean, like hundreds of hours.
I'm
they
one of those
play.
people.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
see,
sure
yeah,
if
see,
anybody has watched my own personal broadcast in the past, which I'm pretty sure they have, I cuss a lot. My show is not rated PG, for everyone. I get mad. I start cussing, screw you, I'm gonna wreck this dude, all that stuff. But that's just talk. That's just driver talk. At the end of the day, we're all one big happy family.
that's it. Yeah, especially when you're racing your league and stuff like that. What happens on the track stays on.
All right, let's find Jake. Looks like he's running behind Trout. See where Trout looks like he's running behind Mills.
He's running middle.
And I see Buck up there going into turn 1 now. So they're about a quarter of a lap behind. Not sure how many laps are left in the stage. So I don't know how much time they think they can maybe make up, because they all pitted together pretty much. So it's not like anybody's got an advantage over fresher tires or whatnot. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think back, Boomhauer. I believe we did that race earlier. It was 100 laps. So I'm thinking about 50 laps per stage here. Is that right?
yes, it
Right
is.
underneath it.
Yep, it's
So I believe our fuel mileage is about 25. So they probably having to pit about one time per stage.
Yep, I've noticed that. They've been making one green flag stop, so they have enough to make a full 50 laps on one stop. So I'm going to say 26 to 27 laps at the most, especially if you've got a wheel and you've got a pedal set, you can throttle it a little bit more. and save a little bit more gas. You can run half throttle a lot easier than you can on a controller. So some people might have been saving, trying to stretch it out, which also might come into effect during the last stage. A lot of these guys know pit strategy. They know how to back off. They know how to back off the corners, save their tires, save their fuel, and it help in the long run. They can short pit, get what they need to do, and then run 30 laps without stopping while everybody else is struggling on them old tires.
Checkmate in the 9 and no Pitbull. Yeah, having a real good battle last couple.
I'm watching that. They're right behind Jake and UK back there, and Smitty's with them.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this race right here, with the 4 stages, is that you really have the last stage presented to you 3 times before that stage. So if you're in those top 5s, every time you go to a restart,
you know what's coming.
You can almost see where your car's going to end up.
Yep.
If nothing happens within that final race. So these guys may be going, look, I was 2 seconds behind the leaders that time. I got to make some changes, and the leaders may be going, I don't need to change anything.
One of the cars off the wall again. He saves it though.
But also, as you're talking about, they've seen the stages before. You've ran it 3 other times for that final stage. If you can't set your car up, if you don't know what's about to happen, how it's going to happen, the order it's going to happen, that's what makes the great drivers on here separated from everybody else. They know what to expect. They can foresee what their car is about to do, what other people's cars, how they've been running. They keep track of that. Okay, this car has been getting faster and faster.
Wildcat just hit the wall real hard.
Let's find him. Come on, we're already
back up. There he is.
There he is. Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about this last time, Boom. However, I don't know if you weren't in there with us last week. It was a cup race, but we were talking about. I wish there was one thing they could do. We don't want them to fix everything on this game because we want them to keep upgrading the games for a long time to come. But the one thing I would like to see done from a broadcasting standpoint is when we go to switch cars, I wish it would keep it in the order that they are on the track instead of the order that they started the race.
Yep. Also,
my first time broadcasting that's hard too. Is because I'm not used to drivers like you guys are on a number. So going through, trying to see who's battling what, and you got to keep clicking through to find it. And then.
Well, also, I think they need to have the running order as it's going across the top of the screen right now. It shows,
they do it in the Pro League.
It shows the cars and what drivers and what car number, but put it in order.
It's Matty G gets spun into pit wall. Hits the wall and spins around the track. This may bring out a caution.
It doesn't look like it will.
Wow, I'm telling you what. Matty G came off the edge as he gets into Jake right here.
Again.
And this is going to put him on the bottom of the track.
That is the second time that Jake has rear-ended
Matty G around.
Well, I tell you, there's been a lot of rough nights for drivers.
And
I think Matty G just quit the race.
Either that or
he backed out.
Or that was lag. I know a lot of times he lags out of races too.
Wow. That was not good for Jake right there. I guarantee you that put a lot of damage on that number.
That's 78.
24 of Jake.
Let's find him. There he is. Let's see. It don't look like he lost too much off of Trout and Wildcats, but we'll have to see.
Well, here's the good thing. Like we talked earlier, we got one more stage, so it's not really going to matter.
Sport, at this point. Legend, and Woodruff are really having a battle to us back here, along with the 20 car again. A little bumping going on. Here we go.
The Woodruff, like you said, gets into the wall as he passes the number 51. Looks like 51's got either low tire wear or some damage causing that car to be really slow coming out of turn 4.
Been a hard-fought race for all these drivers.
Oh, it looks like Pro 75 catches the wall coming off turn 4. I can recognize that's Pro's car because he's got that big Gatorade emblem on the hood.
Yeah, I hate to see Matty either lag out or quit the race right there. It's always good to have everybody finish the race that starts it, but sometimes, these drivers, if you
also,
start having a bad
laps,
race or you lag out, it's
200 laps
a lot
is a long
to
time too.
It is.
But also, it might be something else. Everybody that runs with us and talks with us and everything, participates in anything we do, know that Maddie, his wife Jenna, has got something growing in her stomach and is about ready to pop.
Here we go. Looks like we're going to be going to the final stage here if this is not just a caution.
Yep, that is the end of the stage.
Yeah, we still got guys racing, so that's going to be the end of the stage. As we got the Maddie 3233.
Now we're going to see who's sleeping and who's been just holding back and stuff. So this is going to be a nice finish.
Yeah, right here, this is going to be a 50 lap shootout. Right at it. I'm not sure if it's exactly 50 laps, but it's going to be right at it. Usually we can have, me or Boomhauer will have it pulled up on our phone, the other live stream, and one of the racers racing, so we'll kind of be able to tell you what lap, what number we're on, and how some of the fuel might be looking or may not be looking. But unfortunately, we don't have that at our access right now. So.
Okay, here we go.
Right, let's
see if we get a good, clean start.
Like UK Wildcats worked his way back up to the front.
Yep.
Starting out number 3rd right now.
And here's Mills on the outside. Looks like we got
See where K-Taddy is. Where's K-Taddy?
3 cup drivers. Oh, Mills gets a little bit loose on corner entry 2 already on them fresh stickers.
Yep. Here comes Jake in the 3rd position now as he works on the inside.
There's
UK
a
Wildcats.
lot going on in the middle there. Oh, the 50 hits comes around close. Everybody saves it. Holy cow.
I'm watching right now. We got Woodruff.
Jake looks like he caught the apron, slid up the track, and cut off the Mills. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Everywhere tonight, boy. I'll tell you what, he's done an amazing job holding on to that car.
And here comes Wildcats looking on the inside of Buck going into turn 1.
As we got Wicked Gatekeeper in the pits right now, along with Woodruff on his tail, as Woodruff did not pit there, but these two cars are way behind the pack, as we have no caution has came out so far in this final stage.
That might have been that backstretch. Oh, it looks like Wildcats got a little bit loose in turn 4. And here comes Jake, Buck, Trout, Smitty, Pendle, Mills. They're all on him right now.
Jake back up to 2nd.
Yep.
If that's it, not if Trout has anything to say about it. Here he comes, creeping on the inside.
Over. Here we go, 2 wide for 2nd and 3rd.
Yep, Trout's got that better position right now as he got that inside line.
Pendle and Smitty out back here, they're lurking.
Wildcat.
I'm telling you what, Boomhauer, you've done this more than I have, and I've done it enough to know already. It's going to be a heck of a finish.
Oh yes, I can feel the anticipation, and I'm starting to get jittery over here.
Let's see what happens.
This is where it all counts. This is it's all on the line now.
And how hard do you push it? No caution's been called tonight. So how
honestly, I'd say you have to push it. If the cautions are on relaxed, you've got to take your chances. Because you don't know how many chances you're going to get. Say something happens like with Jake. He rear-ended Maddie twice tonight. If it wouldn't have been for the stage, I don't know if Jake would have got back up to the front or not. Just because of the overall gap that Buck and Mills and everybody had on him. That stage saved his excuse me, my French. It saved his race. So I think you've got to play the aggressive. I mean, at least I would be. Because, like I said, you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get. You don't know if the caution's going to come out. So, take what you got. Take what they give you.
Jake's
right now it doesn't look like Jake has enough speed to get back up there too, but
Jake just seems to be he doesn't seem like he has the speed, or they figured out their cars.
Also, whenever he's been back, outside of first place, everybody's been spread out. Now everybody's bunched together. His car's in a little bit more dirtier air. It might not be handling the same ways. We see Wildcats creeping up on the inside of Buck, making a run, going across the start-finish line.
Wildcat on the bottom. Goes past Buck.
And here comes Trout right there on Buck's bumper. Looks
Jake's
like Buck's got a little bit better car on corner entry, but it looks like Wildcats is getting him on corner exit.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do, Boomhauer, is getting that 4th or 5th position car back and watch that chase cam over the car, man. I'm telling you, it gives a good angle of the car so you can see what's going on, and it really shows you what these drivers are seeing as we come into the final stage here at the Giggity Racing All-Star get together for the 5v5v5.
Did you guys miss Puddin'?
Yes, sir, we did.
Yeah,
Puddin',
you
welcome
back
back
from
to
your
the
business
stream.
call?
Everybody that wasn't watching because Puddin' left, you can now return to the video. Puddin' is back on the stream. He's live and he's ready to grab your attention here. At
Glad to see as I'm watching the stream, not one person asked where I went. Thanks for paying attention, guys.
I knew where you were at. We talked
Puddin', I don't know
about
if you've been watching the stream or how close you've been paying attention to that. We've got a lot of good action going here. Jake got bumped a couple times. We had a couple cars around. We've had one guy that lag out or quit. We got a lot of good racing going on as we see these three green cars working their way up towards the front of the pack, trying to keep Jake away from getting that win tonight.
Jake seems like he's losing ground to the first and second.
My new fan vote.
I wouldn't count him
How
out.
does everybody think? How does everybody think E-Boss is doing as a first-time commentator? That's my new fan vote.
Oh, he's
Great,
doing
man.
good.
E-Boss, glad to have you in the booth on a random.
Oh, it is. This is different. This is
notification,
different.
so.
It's exciting.
And if anybody wanted to know,
Oh,
E-Boss just
into the wall.
E-Boss ended up in the lobby because he just didn't want to leave the chat party. He was one of those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he had a lot of questions about how that went, how we did it. So he said, "Hey, man, look, you want to do it? Come in there and hang out with us for a little bit."
I said, I want to see the hype. Let's see what
And
this
it
is.
looks like
I'll tell you what,
Buck-
these guys are on a whole different level than I am at.
It looks like Buck and Trout are
do you see
pulling
what
away.
you see what we're talking about, boss? These guys are phenomenal. Everybody in the Giggity Racing League is superb. This is why you need to go out and do your truck league thing, man. You can get there with them.
All right, Jake's now not necessarily in the dirty air. He's got some gap between him and Trout. He's leading that second little pack right there, followed by Wildcats, Smitty, and it looks like Pendle. So let's see if they can work their way back up and catch Buck and Trout up here now.
Yeah,
As
we
soon
were
as
talking
I
about
say
this
that,
earlier, but
I see the gap
we've
close.
got all the best racers in the league right here. We're going to be getting a little farm race on later on. We'll have some of the worst racers going to be joining the league.
Listen, I run consistent. All right, consistent.
That's all they
I
want.
run
is consistent.
Nobody said
Correct.
E-Boss.
Hey, I'm consistently at the back of the pack.
Yeah, I'm middle of the pack.
See, I'm consistently going to the refrigerator for another beer. That's why I'm best in the broadcasting boss and the broadcasting booth.
But hey,
No,
he
see,
has
that's
been
why
making
you
himself
need
a
to.
name.
That's why I got to give my man Kay Larson a shout out. His old lady, the beer fetcher. All he's got to do is say, "Babe, I love you. Did I tell you how beautiful you look today? Can you get me a beer?" 10 seconds later, you hear. Ksh.
Hey, Mariah, can you get
She
me a beer?
definitely she got
Here,
wife
girl,
of the
thanks,
year
babe.
last year.
Appreciate
Look
it.
at that. It even works.
See, I could say that, but nobody's going to answer. I gotta say though, I'm glad that one of my predicaments is actually coming true so far, as we see that 62, that green and black machine of Buck out front leading right now. I called it earlier in the second stage. Give him a couple, some laps, and looks like he's starting to. I'm not sure if Trout might have got a little bit loose coming out of turn 4 on that last lap, but it looks like Buck's starting to pull away from Trout a little bit now.
Oh, K Taddy just got tapped. Oh, up against the wall. I just went to check on see where he was doing. He just got tapped again. He slowed down. Here we go. He's getting back up to speed.
Looks like he's running right there behind Larson, and
They just had a bump a
hiccups.
couple laps ago.
That
Yeah,
looks to be Checkmate Taylor in front of them, and it looks like RKM in front of them. You'll have to excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Got one car
Ooh,
sitting
Napa fan.
sideways.
Oh, Napa fan just.
Yep,
I don't
looks
know
like
what
he's
happened. I
spun.
hope he stays at the bottom. Stay on the bottom.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
he is. Napa's.
Man, I'm telling you
he's-
what, seems like the cautions just are not coming out
Not
to these
coming
guys
out at
tonight,
all.
man.
They might have shut him off.
I don't know if they got cautions on or not. I mean, you said we
We
had one
did.
come out, but
We had
what-
one in the
what was
first
it?
stage, and I believe we
first
had
stage?
one in the second stage. I think we've had 2 non-stage cautions tonight. Oh, looks like Jake might have had a little bit of a lag right there. I hope he don't lag out, because it looks like that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place right now of Jake, Wildcats, and Smitty are got a nice little pack formed. They're not racing each other. They're just staying nose to tail, trying to catch them 2 leaders up there.
yeah, I'm telling you what, man, you get put in that 3rd position behind 2 cars on this track, it's kind of hard to catch them. It makes it very difficult.
And see, also it's also difficult on Smitty and Wildcats because, especially being this close, as I was saying, it's not a big factor, but the draft does come into play. You've got to pedal it a little bit more, and if you're having to pedal it a lot more than you normally do at a mile and a half at a D oval like this, it can slow you down a little bit, which it can make a hard time catching the leaders. As Trout has caught back up to Buck, it looked like he was trying to make a pass for it, but Buck said no.
I'm glad you brought something like that up there, Boom. I noticed this earlier.
Different track just hit the wall. I think Jackson just hit the wall.
Yes, he did.
I was doing a World Challenge in the truck race at Canadian Motorsports Park, and you catch just enough sniff of a draft coming up that backstretch. You don't think it's going to make a big difference, and it'll pull you in.
Yes, it does. I know exactly what you're talking about. As soon as you pass underneath the Canadian tire, you better start letting out the throttle just past that, or you're going to overshoot that turn, and you're going to be in the wall. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's funny to watch this.
He's ghosted. Oh, that scared me.
That did too.
I think it probably scared Jake and Smitty a little bit more.
Going from stage to stage, it's funny to see how, right now, Jake's sitting back in third, but just a few moments ago, he was in that position of that bright green car up front.
Yes, he was.
That just nobody could catch him. But now the tables turned. We got different tire wear. He might not have had as good, tires.
Smitty pops the wall,
part of the
and
stage,
Wildcat gets around him.
There we go. Wildcat
Here we go.
just passed him.
Now Wildcat going to suck up to Jake here, maybe. See if Smitty pushes him or if Smitty tries to get that position back. See, right now, if you're Smitty and Wildcats, don't try to pass Jake. Push him. Yeah, he's hard to pass. He's going to be a threat, at the end of the race. But the thing is,
they can push him right out the way right here.
But the thing is, you've got to get there. You've got to be in the position. And your best bet to be in that position is to push and follow Jake to let him catch Trout and Buck. And it looks like they're doing it. These
looks
three.
Like Jake put a little block on right there coming out of that turn. Here he comes. See, yeah, he is. He's blocking. Jake is blocking right now.
Yeah, he is. Here we go.
And here comes Wildcats on the outside, and looked like Smitty was looking to the inside.
Wow, look at this.
Oh, I hope they're not going to split him 3 wide going down the backstretch.
I'm telling you right now, I don't want to say it, but it looks like Jake's car is falling off, and he don't have the car to stay up front right now.
I think he's losing. I think that's what it is. I think on corner exit, he's starting to slip up a little bit as the tires are starting to get worn. I think he might have been trying too hard, trying to catch Buck and Trout, and I think that right rear is starting to go down a little bit. And I think because of Wildcats and Smitty playing with the throttle, backing off, taking a little bit easier, staying behind him, trying to push. They've got better tire wear than Jake does right now, and it's really starting to eat him alive.
Yeah, they're all over Jake, and Jake is not giving them any room to go anywhere on this track right now.
But they are slowly but surely catching those front 2 cars. They are getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, it looks like Jay Smitty's going to pull off on the pack right here, and he's going to go ahead and do an early pit stop.
Yep, Smitty's good. Smitty is known for making pit stops like that.
Is this a good idea, or is it not? They still have laps to go in this race.
There's other drivers on pit road.
As good of tires as these leaders are going to here in about 5 laps.
Well, there's a lot of people on pit road right now. Well, there was a lot of people. Woodruff's on pit road right now. I think Jackson already made his pit stop. I'm not sure. It looks like Pendle is slowing down. He's about ready to hit pit road. So I think it's just time for the green lap pit stops. Sorry, I got tongue tied there.
Boomhauer, Boz, and Clay. Each track obviously is unique in its own right, but at each time, each track has its own specific passing points. Do you want to pass early in a corner, or do you want to lay into them and snake them on the way with your entry angle and entry speed? Sometimes you can lay back. Here
in Charlotte, man, I'm telling you, my favorite place to pass in Charlotte is to hold the throttle down and pass them in that turn 3 and 4 with the 1 lap to go.
Honestly, I would say the exit. Yes, I'd say.
Jake, I'm thinking about pitting.
Well, I think everybody needs to start pitting now, as we've seen Smitty and Pendle and everybody, a couple of the front runners pitting. They're going to be making up a lot of time. They're out here on these old tires still. So right now they're actually losing time. I guarantee you, if Buck and Trout and Jake and everybody hit pit road, I would not
Jake
be
just hit
surprised.
pit road.
I would not
Jake
be
just-
surprised if Smitty has the lead whenever everything cycles around. Looks like Buck went down low there, so that I'm not sure if that was a signal, because everybody knows Giggity, if you're getting ready to pit, drop down low on the back stretch. And no, he is not pitting yet. Alright, so as we see, I think it was either Sports Legend pitting,
Green
I think.
62, I believe, is coming back out from pit road. I think he's coming out now.
Looks like Checkmate's on pit road.
Right now, I got my eyes on Jay Smitty if y'all want to keep up with the Jake and all them.
Yeah, I'm watching
Here
Trout.
comes Jake out of the pits now. Jay Smitty's going to come around and right here going in turn one.
I'm watching Trout and Buck right now, so
Like I said,
see.
Jay Smitty's got about probably a 3-4 second
And-
lead on Jake right now. But
and
Jake's
here
going to have
comes-
those new tires here in just a second.
here come Trout and Buck. So I will stay on them, and we'll meet back up. Just don't know who's going to be in the lead yet. I got to put my money on Smitty, though.
We're going to be able to sit here and watch Jake. He's probably going to be able to run Smitty down unless Smitty made some kind of tape or tire pressure adjustment to get that
They
car
hit-
going really, really fast.
We got UK Wildcats coming off the track. They're coming
Alright,
up on
he's-
their pit lane.
Yeah, just because these guys are running behind them now doesn't mean they can't catch up. As we both know, these guys coming out of pits, they're going to have better tires than these guys that have been on the track 3-4 laps. That's going to make
Napa
a huge
fan just hit
difference.
the pit road.
Oh, as Trout and Buck make contact on pit road. As Buck went in behind Trout and comes out just barely ahead of him. Alright, so here comes Smitty. He's passing him now. I told y'all Smitty was going to have that lead. He had the fresher tires for a little bit, but here comes Jake and here comes Mills pushing Jake. So let's see where these guys fall in line at here. They're going to just tuck in right behind, I assume, and they're probably all just going to do their best, try to catch Smitty.
Yeah, I'd say we probably got about 20 to 25 laps to go. What do you think, Boomhauer?
I'd say right around 20 if I had to guess.
Let's see if Jake made the right adjustments to push himself back up front.
Oh, Jake bout slaps the car on the median
Wow.
going around turn
Yeah,
2.
dude. I think that's Napa fan.
Looks like Jake got a little sideways coming out of that turn as well.
Probably trying to avoid Napa fan, probably. Now you said Wildcats was just now hitting pit road a while ago. Let's see if he's going to be coming out. Let's see where this puts him. As we've seen somebody up there mowing grass.
Sounds like somebody's right on Jake's rear.
Yeah, they
about
are.
to come
Just
past
three
him,
or
and
four
they
cars.
are.
Oh, that's
You know, I
Trout
wasn't
and,
even looking. I wasn't even
Trout and
watching
Buck.
the rear camera. I was just watching the forward camera. I could
And-
hear him coming right on his rear.
Trout
Well, I
is
tell you
telling
what,
Buck, get out of the way.
Wow. Yeah, he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a quality
Oh,
race.
as
We
Trout
always get
pops
a
in.
Giggity race. This is why it's more entertaining than a Sunday afternoon cup race. Watching these guys on Wednesdays and Sundays, you get the best seat in the house for the cold one, and a couple of friends watching this on your TV every couple weeks, every couple days. I mean, this is what Giggity Racing League has to offer you guys every week.
Every single day. I haven't said it tonight, but if you feel like you've got what it takes, if you're looking for a good league, a fun league, clean, you know, it's competitive now, don't get me wrong. They're making it look easy, but I can tell you right now from first-hand experience, I've ran up here with the Cup guys. I know for a fact it's not easy. 3 seasons, I've had 1 Cup win. But if you think you got
There's
what
a
it
lot of
takes,
people who don't even have
let
that
us
boomer.
know.
That tells you what you got,
RKM,
you know, yes.
K-Taddy, Maddie, RJ Smitty, myself, Boomhauer 01, Puddin', you know, if anybody, let us know. If you want to race, if you're looking, you know, for a league, we run 7 days a week. Trucks, we've got custom Xfinity, preset Xfinity, custom Cup, preset Cup, dirt, it does not matter. We've got a developmental league, so you can test and see what you got. Just let us know.
Here comes Trout. Here comes
Oh,
Buck.
put the
Hate to cut
bumper.
you off. We got a full-weight battle for the win right here.
I'm glad I finished that sentence when I did, because they were catching him right as I was finishing. As they used the
Jake's
draft.
holding on there. He's making it through.
Oh,
we go.
here looks like
But
Smitty
me
got a
and
little bit
Boomhauer were
loose.
just talking about it, how his pulse was pounding. I was getting nervous. He was getting nervous. We said, we're going to have a good finish here. We can
Here we
already
go.
feel it, man. These cars
Four.
are tight. They're in
Four.
here. And like he said earlier, he said those guys are going to be like, hey, I might not have been here the whole race, but hey, baby, here I am coming 10 laps to go.
200 laps later, let's see who's got what. That's a great thing. Yes, I mean,
All
I'm
right.
sitting here. I just got back from my little intro or my sabbatical, but I could go put some deodorant on. I'm already sweating watching
I
this,
know,
guys.
right? But seeing how we're well within the last 20 laps now. We've got Trout running first. We've got Buck running second.
Dude,
What's up,
Go
Hunter?
ahead, Boom.
hold on.
What-
From the
what-
picture I just got from Puddin', he just put his man bun up and
Oh,
Yeah, that thing is hideous. But
it's terrible looking.
but as I was saying,
Looks
we
like I
got
got the name.
some kind
we got
of
Let's get
less-
back to racing.
we got less than 20 laps to go. We got Trout running first, Buck running second. We've got Jake in third and Smitty in fourth. Of those 4 drivers, who has the best chance, the best shot as they run right now to come home with a win?
Driver.
I
right
like
now, I
Jake,
think
but
honestly, after watching this race, I think it's going to come down between Buck and Trout.
that's my guess too. They're really.
I don't think Jake's got the car, man.
I don't think so
really
either.
don't.
Yeah.
And
I'm-
I think it comes back to him running that low preset
Yeah.
with just a 50-lap run. He don't have enough car and enough wedge in that thing, or loose enough wedge in that thing to get that car down there and win this race. I just don't think he has.
I got to
enough in
pick Buck. Me and Buck don't necessarily get along. We've had our debacles over time, going all the way back to NASCAR Heat 2. But I ran with him a long time.
Heat 2, that goes back a while.
We give each other a lot of crap. But he's put on one heck of a show from the sluggish start that he had, getting taken out in that first accident with no caution coming out. For him to be up here literally in the third and fourth stage, leading most of it, battling for this
They are
win,
checking out.
I gotta give that boy credit. He has done one heck of a job tonight. And Buck, if you watch this later, letting you know whether you win or not, I'm rooting for you.
Man, what happened here? These 2 guys, like Ebot said, man, they checked out.
They
They
done
said, we'll take
turned
our ticket.
on
We're
the
going home.
nitrous.
We're taking this to victory lane right now. We're going to battle
Honestly,
it out. We're going to get there, and we're going to go right.
I don't think Trout or Buck's going to win this race because I think after the race is over with, they're both going to fail post-race inspection, and the third place driver is going to be the winner.
Nitrous.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
Putin was talking about earlier, we might see a little burnout when somebody smashed into the wall with the rear panels.
Go ahead and inspect it. You can't
Look
tell
at
what it
that
was to
gap,
begin
guys.
with.
What
I know.
happened on this
They
racetrack?
checked out. I said that. They like this
ZL1 Gaming on our broadcast just asked how many laps were left. I'm not exactly sure. Man, we don't have a driver doing their personal broadcast right now that we know of, so it's kind of hard to keep track of it. I know we're probably within about 10 laps to go. If I had to guess,
I'd
close
say about
estimate.
7 or 8,
My
probably.
personal response to ZL Gaming is not enough laps.
No, I don't. I don't know. It's,
Look at this
yeah.
gap. One,
This
I'm
is
watching
intense.
it. I can see it.
almost a 4-second gap they've created on Jake in just a number
I'm
of, what,
sitting here
4 or 5
and
laps?
Yep.
What
Wait, I didn't
happened?
mean to overtalk you. I'm sitting here on Jake's hood, and I watched that happen. I'm on Jake's hood because that was the best view to watch all of them go at it.
Do you
And next thing
think-
you know, they went into a different time zone.
Do you think he's battling with Smitty too much? Because as you can see, Buck and Trout are literally running nose to tail the whole time. You can
I
see a
think
little
what
bit.
happened was,
gap.
like I said, I think he don't have that preset set right, and he wore his tires out trying to keep up with those guys running those looser settings.
Oh yeah, he's screwed out. There we go.
Honestly, I think he might have pumped his tires up too much in that last pit stop. That last green flag
Yeah.
pit stop. I
Could be.
think he
That's what I
realized.
What changes do you think he made?
Well, I tell
I
you
think
what,
he
if
might
he
have
stays in
pumped it up
third,
a
we'll
little
get a
bit too
chance to
much.
ask him what happened.
yeah.
I want to know
If
what
he stays in
adjustments
third.
Buck made because he has just came up here and just started kicking butt.
I think Buck's biggest change was he actually put that right pedal to the floorboard. He was saving majority of the race like he normally does, and he's always a factor at the end.
I think he
Is-
finally got away from everybody in the back because he was in a couple of scrums at the beginning of the race in the first stage, and I think the start of the second stage. I think he finally got away from all that. He's got some good, clean racing ahead of him. He had air in front of him, nobody really around him messing with him too much, and he was able to concentrate, run his lines, get his car the way he needed to, and it is surely showing right now.
Guys,
We
I
got a
will ask
black
him
car,
after the
we got
race,
a
but
green car
I
out
think I
front.
know what happened. I think, if we go back, like we said earlier, those 2 green cars are on communications together. They're on comms together. They might have said, hey, man, look, we want to go on to this thing. We need to hook up. We need to go. Let's stop racing
That
each other.
could be
Let's
it.
link up. Let's get that draft going like they've been doing the last 5 or 6 laps. He said, let's get out of here and we'll race for it later on.
No pun
I
intended, but
agree.
they probably went giggity, giggity, giggity. Let's
Yeah,
get this race going.
I have no
They
doubt.
ain't racing each other, man. They drafting right now.
It looks like Smitty's making a move on the inside of Jake coming out of turn 2. Looks like he's on the inside of him. Let's see if he's going to clear him going into turn 3.
I'm still following from Jake's hood, and they just keep dumping and dumping. Oh no, what
Looks like
happened?
Caution.
that's the race.
Is that a
Caution.
caution or is that the race?
That was the caution because they were all the way on the backstretch. They were going into turn 3 when they started slowing down. That's got to be a caution.
Oh,
I don't even know what happened. All the things that have happened tonight, and that brings a caution. I don't know what happened.
I'm not sure either. I've been too busy watching this battle between Trout and Buck up here
ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls,
because they
dogs,
just now crossed the finish
that
line.
right there, I think that right might be the race.
I don't know.
Things
Like I
just got
said,
interesting.
they were still running full speed going into turn 3 before they started slowing down. You would have heard the engines back out as soon as they crossed the start-finish line last lap if that was the race.
Yeah, we didn't see the the crazy finish like we normally do. We never saw nobody try to go around
Nope,
each other. That
it's-
was
No,
not.
they're lining up.
That
They're
was
lining
not.
back up. And that
I'm
was
assuming
Zeno.
this is probably going to be a
Zeno Gaming is
green-white
also
checker
Guitar
come here.
Magnet. He has a
It's
guitar.
got to be close. Yeah, it has to be
Guitar
close.
also races in.
All right, here we go.
Giggity Racing League in the Cup Series. I've had the honor
You think
to
these
call
guys?
it
I don't think these guys pitted up front.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Here they come, Buck and
Here
Trout
we
side
go.
by side.
Jake's
Jake's now back on the
Jake's
rear
got
side
Buck.
of Buck.
Oh, as
As
Trout
Trout hits
catches
the
the
wall.
wall. Here comes
Jackson
Smitty on the
down.
inside of Jake. Buck goes low, blocks Smitty. And here comes Smitty on the inside.
Jake staying high.
The
we go.
best
Oh,
camera
right
angle
the
is
wall.
above watching this. Here we go.
Oh,
this,
and
then Smitty's on
Jackson
his
Strong
right.
spins.
Look at this
Oh,
racing.
I would say we
Oh,
definitely
Buck's
got
mowing
one lap to go
grass.
as we come across the
D.
line.
Smith takes the
Big
lead.
rack. Big rack. Oh, it takes out the whole crowd.
Whoa!
Oh, cars in the
If that
wall.
don't bring out a caution, I don't know what will.
That was the last
I was
lap.
gonna say- I
That
was
was the
gonna say,
last lap. That was
that's been a
overtime.
Wow.
If that was not a dandelion flag, I don't know what is. He was. Good call. My God.
As close as we was, that should have been overtime. And if that's the case, then I believe either D. Smith or R.J. Smitty might have been your winner.
That's brass tacks.
They don't have the
bronze
strict
medal for
cautions
the
on,
bench
so they
rider.
may be going to another overtime here. Remember,
We'll have to
you don't
see.
have those strict cautions on. They usually don't. They usually go a couple rounds of overtime.
We've had that in our league a couple times.
Don't mind what I have to say, though. Apparently, E-Boss thinks I have mange.
That
Back
was
to you,
it.
Clay.
That was it.
That was it.
Hey, whoa!
I just got our final finish right now.
Holy cow, what an intense battle. Always.
And
when we-
R.J.
Man, what a wreck.
Smitty comes
I'm
home
telling you.
with the win.
Woo, RJ.
Followed
Let's
by
get these
D.
guys in the
Smith in
lobby.
second. We've got No Pit Pendle in third. Jake in fourth. Teddy bringing up a top 5 after his struggles throughout the race. We got Trout in sixth. RKM seventh. Napa Fan finishing 8th. Checkmate Taylor in 9th. Buck drops back for a 10th place finish. We've got K. Larson in 11th. UK Wildcats 12th. Mills in 13th. Jackson Strong 14th. Woodruff 15th. Pro 75 finished 17th. Sean 18th. 19th was Sports Legend. And last was Maddie.
Boy,
Just
wow.
as an FYI, real quick,
Wow.
we've got plenty of time for post-race interviews. But
Mhm.
Mr. E-Balls, Mr. Clay, do you know what time it is? We finished that race just in time to go and participate in the Giggity Racing Farm League tonight.
All
Yep,
right, well,
it was
first
good
things
talking to
first,
everybody.
let's
Boomhauer,
get
we're gonna get out of here.
RJ Smitty in here.
Good to talk with you, man. Good luck doing these post-race interviews. I'm gonna have to get on out of here.
All right,
Let's go see
man.
if we
Take
can
care.
duplicate this.
Yeah. Tell
I'll stick
everyone we
with-
said congratulations.
I'll stick with you, Boom.
You've got to. You're the
Boz.
party host.
Oh, that would be much appreciated then, right? Yeah. So.
If Puddin's gonna stay,
Boz-
we'll stay. Be all
Well,
right.
Boz and Clay, just again, like I said, we've affectionately called it the Giggity Racing Farm League. I help represent everything. We got our little get together tonight. We start at 9:30. We've still got 10 minutes, so that gives us plenty of time to talk with these great top 3 drivers that just put one hell of a show on tonight.
All right, so let's get Smitty in here.
E-Boss, thanks for
Oh, absolutely, man. Uh, I I definitely got to say, I'm pretty sure he had a blast with it. Definitely. Where's Teddy?
Series is put together. We have a developmental league, then we've got the truck series, we have a Xfinity league, and we've got the Cup league. So they took the top 5 of the top 3 series right there, and they put them together. Boz, I think you have what it takes. Why don't you come over and try one of these development races, man? I
real
think
quick,
you can
Puddin'?
be participants. Go ahead,
Did you invite Caddy?
Yeah, and accept those suggestions for me right quick there, Puddin'.
I think I can do that for y'all.
All right, I appreciate that.
You know what? I like my own little keep it consistent. I'm just gonna stick with the little team I have, and we're gonna call that good. I don't, I know my role. I stick to my lanes.
Let's see if we can get these guys in
A
here.
Trout, Caddy, RJ Smitty, as normal. We've talked with these guys before. Let's get them in. We just allowed them in. Holy hell, ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Yes.
girls, and
Girls.
parakeets out there. This is one heck of a race.
Dogs, cats, ferrets, whatever pet that you got.
I don't know what you just said, Boomhauer, but that just dragged my dog out of the bedroom. He thought you said his name.
You're
Or
welcome.
apparently he just wanted to drink of water and to flatulate in front of me, but that's still the same.
Hey, after watching that, he probably had his heart rate going too. He's probably like, I'm thirsty now.
My dog, he loves racing, and he doesn't know the difference between online and real, so they stay out here on the couch with me, thinking it's a Sunday afternoon cup race.
Oh yeah, my dad's dog used to watch NASCAR with me. He'd literally sit there and just stare at the TV like, what?
Yep.
All right, well,
Now-
we've got one of our guys in here, Mr. A. Trout, running that number 3 green and black car for the Cup Series guys tonight. How you doing, man?
What's up, Boomhauer? How you guys doing?
Man,
Good, man.
you
Can you
had
give us a
one
little
heck
rundown?
of a car, man.
Yeah, it was pretty strong. It helped there toward the end. I have a teammate, and we were working together, kind of drive away from the field there. But all in all, I had a good night. Didn't like how it finished. It finished, obviously, but you can't
Did
really
you
help when cautions
expect that
come out.
coming with the caution coming out that late, knowing it was going to be a green-white checkered, the overtime situation? Did you expect the chaos that was about to ensue and just try to hold your position?
Yeah, I mean, I knew, once I saw the caution come out, I knew it was going to be crazy as I'll get out, and a lot of guys were going to be fighting for that win, as they should. I just kind of got stuck on that high line, and that doesn't really go on restart, so I knew I was going to be in trouble. But luckily for me, I kind of salvaged a little bit of a finish, top 10 finish, with avoiding that big wreck at the end. But I can't be proud of the Cup guys, man. We were up there running 1, 2, 3 for a while, and we had other guys that were in the battle in the top 10, and I feel like us Cup guys kind of proved why we're kind of in the Cup tonight. I will say that Jake had a strong showing. UK from the trucks had a great showing. I'm really impressed with that kid.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of good stuff. I liked running. This has been a fun race. I liked running with a lot of guys I never get to run with, and just seeing what they kind of have. And I went into the race kind of just wanting to, not push it and dive bomb, and just kind of lay back and see what these guys have, and maybe kind of do some recruiting for the next season.
I think you answered my question a little bit real quick. This is Puddin'. Who were some of the surprise drivers out there that you were a little shaky about, and who are the people that you obviously anticipated racing against, being that there was different series out there?
Yeah, so I told the Cup guys before the race started, I knew Jake was going to be quick. I knew Pendle was going to be quick. And I kind of guessed Smitty to be quick. And so those are kind of the 3 guys that I kind of warned the Cup guys about. And I'm surprised that UK, I never raced against the guy, and he did a really good job tonight. So lots of fun, that's for sure.
What can you take from this going to the All-Star race? I mean, it's the same track. you're going to be running with, a lot of the same guys. I mean, can you expect the same kind of tactics, having your car set up the same way? Is it going to change? Or, I mean, what do you expect to come from, the big race?
For the most part, I'll probably keep it around the same as far as setup goes. I really like the car tonight. It was very stable. I don't like a loose car, especially off of 4 where everybody gets a little squirrely. But
Oh, yes.
so for the most part, I know kind of what I'm going to do with the car. I'll do a little bit more practice, maybe just do little tire pressure tweaks and whatnot. But for the most part, kind of run the same line, same everything for the most part for me, and we'll go from there.
Puddin', you got anything else, man? I mean, other than I can say is
No
it's a heck of
surprise
a
to
show.
me. I was just going to say it's no surprise to see Trout up front. No surprise. But how hard was it to work through that pack? Because we had to see you do it a couple times and you maintained yourself up there. Those guys were definitely trying to prove themselves. How hard was that? How hard was it to maintain your patience and tires?
Yeah, I feel like with being a green car, you kind of have a little bit of a target on your back, and the guys run a little bit harder around you, which is fine. I get that.
I was just going to ask you that. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. There's, they're trying to prove themselves, which I would too. So I can't be too mad at that. Working through traffic wasn't too bad. You just gotta watch that apron. A lot of people hit that apron. You can kind of get up underneath them, and that helps out a lot. Yeah, for stage 1 we won, which was good. Stage 2, we had to battle back a little bit and challenge some adversity there. But all in all, stage 3 wasn't too bad. I got caught up against the wall and had to do an early pit to try to just salvage a decent race. And then that stage 4 wasn't too bad. And me and Buck kind of running out away from all the guys. I was telling Buck with like 5 laps to go, how you want to do this thing. You want to race this thing, and you just want to stay in line. We kind of made a deal there, but had fun. Hope you
we'll
guys
talk
had
about
fun.
that in later broadcast. Deals were
yes.
being made.
Yeah, right. But I will say real quick from you guys, man, I'm a little disappointed I wasn't one of the pre-race picks. I don't know if I even have been, so I'm out to prove a point now.
Oh, absolutely. I knew you were going to be up there, and I apologize, for leaving you out. It's just like I was saying, nobody is an underdog in that race because it's the best of each series. It's literally the best drivers that we got going against each other. So I mean, everybody had a chance to win. So I mean, I apologize for not throwing you up there. I'll be I'll be smarter next time. I should know better.
Confidence just said, "Hey,
I should know better
where was I
personally
at?"
not to bet against you. How many times have we been up front battling and you kick my butt? I know this already. It's like, hello.
I'm just giving you guys a hard time, but no, you're right, Boomhauer. We've been up there we had a long line of history here. So,
yes.
But no, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate you guys letting the viewers at home kind of get a front row seat to this thing.
Oh, absolutely, man. Y'all put on a show tonight, man.
Thanks for putting on one hell of an event, man. And we got more to come this week from Giggity Racing League and All-Star Week. We have more events to come, and if you want to participate, you do have a couple of chances to make that All-Star race. And Trout, we're looking forward to see you up front then.
Yes, sir. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'll be tuning in the next 3 days, see who gets in and out. I got to do some homework, I got to do some
Absolutely. Know your competition.
Well, now I feel like I got to try to shout out the next couple of days so he doesn't get mad at Puddin'.
I hear you, Puddin'. I appreciate it. Y'all be good. Y'all have a good night.
You too,
Congratulations.
man.
Be safe, brother.
See you.
Boomhauer, what a great event. What a great ending. I hate to say this, but I am going to have to be allowed. I've got our little thing tonight.
Absolutely. Go right ahead, man.
Thanks again for having me, Boomhauer. Thanks again, Giggity Racing. Congratulations to all of our drivers. You're here for a reason in this particular race. It was awesome. I love how Taddy and all the administrators put this together with the color-coded cars to let you know who you are, where you're at, and everything. Everybody did one heck of a job, one hell of a job. Let's put it like that. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but the Puddin's got to say I got to vacate real quick. I got something to go to. Can't wait to broadcast tomorrow night for you all.
Absolutely. You enjoy the rest of your evening, man.
Boomhauer, you be safe, and God bless everybody else, and everybody else be safe out there also.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, we tried to get our race winner, RJ Smithian here. I believe he has already gotten offline. Also try to get our fearless leader, K Taddy, in here. I think he's gotten off as well. But I just want to say, thanks for joining in. I mean, thanks for watching. As they're, Trout and Puddin were saying, y'all are the reason we do this, night to night. We want to put on a show for all of our fans and everything. And as y'all seen, we had one heck of a show tonight. These guys definitely did not let us down. We had some great racing. We had some truck guys. We had some Xfinity guys up there at the front battling. Of course, the Cup guys. But, we've got 3 of the guys who have not won a race this year. With our All-Star race coming up, we've got 3 races over the next 3 days. A race tomorrow night, a race Friday night, and a race Saturday night. The winner of each race gets in to the All-Star race. Now, of course, if you win Thursday night, you're in. You can't run Friday and Saturday. If you win Friday, you can't run Saturday, so on, whatever. But those 3 guys, or females, girls, if I know we got a few racing with us, maybe they can get in here and show these guys how to do it. But like I said, we've got 3 more chances to make the All-Star race. Unfortunately, I've got some personal things to do, so I will not be a part of the race Thursday night or Friday night. I will try to make it back to try to race my way in Saturday night. But hopefully I'll be able to get myself in, and y'all can watch my stream from my point of view and see what's going on out there. If not, if I don't make it, I have no doubt I'll be up here in the booth commentating and broadcasting this for y'all, so y'all can watch this and keep up and reach your drivers on, whoever you're pulling for. But on a different note, we got some ideas earlier in the week. I ran it through with our fearless leader, and he thought that it would be a great idea. So, starting this Sunday, before the All-Star race starts, we are going to start doing, it's probably going to be every Sunday, in between weeks and everything. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that play this game that follow us also know that Dale Jr. has his little podcast, the Dale Jr. Download. We are going to start doing a little bit of our own podcast, getting, maybe an admin or 2 different, each different week, a couple of the drivers in, going over, the previous week, what's coming up that current week, what's coming up in the following week, who's doing great, who's doing well, what to look forward to and whatnot. And, there is our race winner.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Not too bad.
Man. Walk me through the last caution, the last restart, man.
Well, Buck didn't pit.
Oh.
So I knew that was going to cause a little issue there, but I think he didn't get around the first corner the greatest after the restart.
It looked like he slipped a little bit.
That caused Jake to check up a little bit, and I had just the perfect gap in there to just keep my momentum, and I ended up getting the run on the backstretch there. And then that kind of put Jake up high, and I knew that Buck was going to push up in that corner because, like I said, he didn't pit or anything. And I knew that was going to pretty much slow down Jake. So going into that last corner, I kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened, but I didn't think it was going to cause a big crazy
scafu like that.
Yeah.
Man, what happened before the last restart, before the caution came out and everything? Buck and Trout were running 1 and 2. You and Jake were running 3 and 4. Y'all were right there on the bumpers, closing in, and then all of a sudden, it's like Trout and Buck hit nitrous and just hauled off, man. I mean, because I know that they were both in the same chat. Them 2 being the Cup guys. I know you and Jake, you being with the captains, and Jake being in the Xfinity group, y'all wasn't really able to communicate with each other. So do you think that had a lot to do with it, or were y'all just hard racing while those two were falling in line, or?
I don't know, because it was Jake, me, and I think UK Wildcat was there too, but
Yep.
all three of us were kind of working together there, trying to run them down, and we were closing, but I don't know. I think having the communication like they did, and also I think they were a tad bit faster than us, but I think the communication was a big thing.
Well, also, seeing how the All-Star race is coming up, it's the same track. A lot of the same guys is going to be running. I mean, what do you take away from it? I mean, now that you know people's strategies and stuff like that, how their cars, you get a good look of a lot of the people, what their cars can do, what they can't do, stuff like that. How much does that help going into the All-Star race?
It helps a lot. I mean, tonight was difficult. I mean, everybody out there was fast. It was hard to pass everybody. As far as that goes, I think Sunday is going to be a lot like what tonight was. Well, hopefully. I think we only had 2 or 3 cautions all night tonight.
Yeah, we were actually surprised about that. We figured, having different people, from different series and all that stuff that, especially with the truck guys and the cup guys, the Xfinity guys not necessarily running the cup cars all the time because mainly they're practicing, in their division, running what they run, that it might be a little bit different handling the car. So we kind of figured there'd be a little bit more cautions than there was tonight. It was honestly a great showing from everybody. I mean, there for a while, especially in the second and third stages, it looked like you were back into pack a lot. Did you think you had a chance to get up front, or was you buying your time just waiting it out?
I knew I had a fast car on the short run, but the bigger issue that I thought was because my teammates were kind of stuck in the back quite a bit, so I'd kind of get up towards the front, and then all of a sudden you'd see like 2 green cars go by me and then 2 red cars. I felt I didn't have the help that they had, so I got shuffled backwards quite a bit and then have to try to pick one by one off, and I just ended up being in the perfect spot at the end there.
Also, I do have to say, earlier, I think in the first stage, me, Puddin', E-Boss, and Clay, we were talking about, the different paint schemes tonight. The captains being, in the black cars, cup guys being green, Xfinity red, truck guys being in the blue cars, but also just the individual paint schemes that they put on the cars. And I think that we agreed you had one of the baddest paint schemes out there. That solid black with the red stripes, the red wheels, the way the thing was glowing, man. You did a heck of a job painting that car, man.
I thought it looked a lot like Ricky Rudd's 28 car.
It almost did, but it's just, I don't know what it was, but the view from above, going around in circles, just seeing the way that thing glowed with the big red A for the Exalta sponsor on the hood of it, it just made that car pop, man.
Well, thank you.
You think you had a little bit of that Jeff Gordon magic running at Charlotte tonight?
Oh, definitely, always. Magic number.
All righty, man. Well, you take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations on that win. It was definitely hard fought. And we'll catch you Sunday for the All-Star race, man.
Yep, 10-4. Thanks, man.
All right. We also have our fearless leader, who actually managed to scramble out a top 5 finish tonight. You want to go ahead and jump on in here, Taddy? Make sure your voice is set to allow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty, man. What was it like back there, man? It looked like y'all were, a lot of guys were struggling at the back for the first part of the race and everything. It looked like you just couldn't get forward.
Yeah, that very first start of the race, we had that early caution.
Yep.
2 laps in, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the admin group, they lucked out. They were able to get up towards the front. Smitty was one of them. Arkham got up early, but he had his car was a little too loose for him. they made it up through the front, but for those of us that didn't, trying to fight from the back, we were already 6 seconds back before the race ever got going. And kind of on every start, the stages and everything, there was a lot of the front was a little clean. The further back you went, the more contact that was being made, different lifting points and stuff. And if you try lifting, every stage you're so far back that, I couldn't get any higher than, I think 12th was the highest I got up to on a stage. Just fought my way through the whole time, stayed on the lead lap, and then, when you're in a scenario like that, you just hope and pray for exactly what happened, that a late caution comes out.
Well, man, you definitely caught one of the biggest breaks. Being able to get back up to the front right there at the last second. As I, asked Smitty and I asked Trout the same thing. I mean, how much of this do you take going into Sunday into the All-Star race?
It's really hard to figure out going into Sunday. Kind of different parts of the track is going to be a different scenario. We only had 20 cars now. We got 30 people already qualified in for the race on Sunday, plus another 4 to go. So, 34 cars compared to 20, that's almost twice the fields. Plus, on top of that, like, again, Smitty's scenario, he was up front all day. If he's running 15th, 16th mid-pack, how's he going to run there? Same aspect to me. I was in the rear, and I might be, come Sunday, I might have be up front. I had a really good long-run car. The setup that I had was amazing on the long run. I was catching people. I just didn't have it on the short runs, which, that cost me because, again, with that many cars on a restart, you got to have a short run speed.
Be able to make those passes in a hurry whenever the windows open up.
Yeah, when everybody's all together.
But right before Smitty jumped in, there was nobody else in here. I went ahead and started talking a little bit about it. But now that you're in here, we'll go ahead and get back to that. As I was saying, on Sundays, in between weeks, before our races, before our cup races, I'll probably start it this Sunday before the All-Star race. Be a perfect time to start doing it. Dale Jr. has his little Dale Jr. download, and we're going to start a podcast of our own, talking about, each week, the previous week, what's to come, what to look forward to in the current week and the week coming up, who's doing hot and who's, not so hot, just everything in general. How do you think that's going to help us out a little bit? You think that's going to give some fans who don't want to wait until 8 o'clock at night to to see a race just to get in and chat and to see how we do things? And
so I'm actually really excited for this. We've been wanting to weigh. We get on Facebook, we get on the Twitter, we try to let people know, kind of what happened, what's coming up. Boomhauer, he's been kind enough he's going to host this podcast. We're going to be able to bring in some of the drivers that we usually can't, after the races are over, such as tonight, it gets kind of late. People want to log off, eat dinner, maybe watch the video back. We're going to try to get some of those drivers in that don't normally, that they might not be a top 1, 2, 3 guys, maybe some of the guys that run mid-pack more towards the back. In all series, this goes for the trucks, the Xfinity. We might even try to bring in some development guys, get their take on, first couple weeks here in Giggity, a couple cup drivers. Also bring in some past champions, maybe not even here with us anymore. Maybe some race winners. Also give you an insight on who's coming up, who we're looking forward to seeing. Just another thing that we're just trying to get it out there. Boomhauer, again, man, thanks a lot for doing this. It's
Absolutely.
Huge. And tonight, for example, D. Smith, he got second place, and we didn't have an interview with him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's nothing against it. There's only so much time, and we're trying to get in race winners and some other stuff that you see throughout the view that, come Sunday, David Smith, if you're listening, D. Smith, you're going to be one of the guys we're going to bring in here,
Absolutely.
As long as you're available when we do it. Absolutely. That's what we want to do. Every night it gets cut short, and we want to be able to get these guys in that well deserve their time of fame here at Giggity.
Just like Buck, he was up there for most of the race, dominating, kicking butt, and him and Jake both. We weren't able to get them in here. But did you have anything for Jake and Buck going back to the race, man? Because those two, I don't know if they turned nitrous on their cars or what.
So here's the thing, though. Our Cam actually tried this. He kind of tested for the admin group come Sunday. He took a 2-tire stop there at the end. and he did it halfway through the stage, and he was good a couple quarters later. The reason I bring this up is, Jake and Buck and Mills Nation, they were up front. UK Wildcats for the Truck Series, big shout out to him, way to represent. Those guys are fast. They're really, really good at this track. And I'm not saying that they're not fast at other tracks, but they showed tonight that they were a powerhouse. And did I have anything for them personally? Absolutely not. But again, I didn't have that short run speed to be able to do that. At the end of the run, I seen a few tenths click off. I didn't know if they were racing. I couldn't tell, but I seen a few tenths, click off to, gaining on the leaders. So maybe I had something, maybe I didn't, However, when you're that far back, it doesn't even matter. Strategy is what decides. And so we kind of tested with that a little, see what we had. Arcam was in our chat. He was willing to do it. Maybe these other teams did the same thing with some of their drivers. I seen Sean T 420 at one point. He pitted, then 3 laps later pitted again. I'm not sure what that was about, unless possibly strategy. To answer your question, no, those guys are fast. They're crazy fast. They're crazy fast every week. The only way to beat somebody that's faster than you is to either get faster or beat them on strategy.
Alrighty, well, heard it right from the cat's mouth, so to say. No pun intended there. But
meow.
Yep. Once again, Sunday we're going to start the whole podcast thing. We'll get a more specific time frame and try to get a schedule worked out and stuff. Especially that now that the NASCAR season is over with. But I know we got a lot of football fans that are going to be paying attention. It's November. It's in the second half of the season. So we'll do our best.
We might actually, I'm thinking, Boom Hour, this is on you, but it might be a good thing that we get that going before football. Football starts about 1 o'clock Eastern. Yep. Maybe we'll bring it in an hour before. We'll start our podcast around noon Eastern.
Do an hour every day or every Sunday.
45 minutes maybe. Try to get, say 15 minutes for people to get those hot wings sauced up and the beers on ice.
Absolutely. But like I said, we'll get more definition, get it down to a T for y'all. Well, if you follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all of our social media sites. That way you'll have all the information. You'll know when we're live and everything. But I believe that is going to do it for me tonight. I've got a 4-hour, 200-mile trip I got to make tomorrow around lunchtime. So me personally, I'm going to hop off of here. I got to say, I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. We had some great racing tonight. These guys put on one hell of a show, and I am definitely looking forward to Saturday whenever I get back in town, trying to race my way, get a piece of this action come Sunday, and if not, I'll be back here where I am. Real quick,
Boomhauer, did you let the viewers know about what's coming up the next 3 days?
Yes, I did.
All right, man, I'm stoked. I'm really excited to see that. A bunch of our guys that, they're either just joined or whatever. Man, I'm excited. I think we got 20-plus cars in each of those races.
I can do one more question right quick. I got a couple more minutes. Of the drivers that have not already made their way into the All-Star race, the ones that are going to be running over the next 3 days trying to win their way in, who do you think has the biggest chance of punching their ticket?
All right, so real quick, 2 guys that one of the guys was in the race tonight, Wicked Gatekeeper. He was in the 42 Green Car Cup Series. He was really, really close to a win this season. Yes. His teammate and captain, Noko, on I think 1 to go, 2 to go, took the lead from him. And because of that, Wicked does not have a win in the league, so he's not in. Also, somebody new to the league that you're going to start seeing on Sundays, he runs one of the biggest organized another league called NASCAR. Timac 11, Timac Motorsports.
Timac.
He's going to be in the events. I actually look, I run with this guy a lot in NASCAR. He's the most winningest driver in NASCAR. He's won more champions than anyone in NASCAR. However, he's new to Heat 4, so I'm really interested in seeing how that goes. On, Boomhauer, yourself, you're going to be in there. We got one of our other broadcasters that usually broadcasts, Puddin'. He's going to be trying to make his racing debut with Giggity. We got a lot of good stuff, and I think we got 20-something drivers in development. There's a lot to look for.
Absolutely. But so y'all definitely tune in over the next 3 days. Catch some more racing. Coming to you live from Charlotte Motor Speedways. Drivers try to make their way into our All-Star race this come Sunday. But we'll go ahead and put a wrap on this evening. I hope y'all had as much fun watching this as I had broadcasting this. I had one heck of a time. There were moments, even though I ain't got no hair on my head, if there was some there, it'd definitely be standing up because I was so excited. I was pumped up. My adrenaline was rushing, man. I love doing this. I love broadcasting and watching these guys battle it out over that, especially the close, tight racing that they had. But hopefully y'all will join us over the next couple of days and in the future races to come. Not just the next couple of days, but for races and seasons to come, man. Thank every one of y'all for tuning in and following along, commenting on our broadcast. Hope we got everybody that asked questions and stuff like that. Hope we got y'all's answers to y'all as best as we could. If you have any more questions and stuff like that, just let us know. You can reach any of us, K-Taddy, RKM, RJ Smitty, NoCo Racing, myself, Boomhauer01, Puddin', any of us. Just ask us if you want your chance to run with us, to prove what you got. You think you got what it takes to, compete with these guys, let us know. We'll definitely give you your shot. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and close the deal on this and get me a good night's sleep. I hope y'all do the same thing. So, America, stay safe. Stay warm for those, who are in the north or the northeast and the south that's getting blistered by, winter that's not even here yet. Not you, NoCo, and your 80 degrees, but we'll talk about that later. But y'all have a nice night. Enjoy your night. Thank y'all for joining along with us, and I will see y'all next time. Boomhauer01 for Giggity Racing League signing off.